fucking ticked that last time. Didn't obviously keep it up, dude. Yes. Oh, has... Oh, it's just taking a bit to load. I sure hope it doesn't crash.
For Nancy on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello.
Pilkington. Steve, you got any other toilet related anecdotes?
Rick, my life is just full of toilet trauma.
Yeah.
And Carl, you may not realise this, but a while back I used to host, this is bizarre, I used to host a radio show on the BBC World Service, right? Now, if you want someone who's the voice of integrity, the voice of intelligence, the voice of a nation, you're going to come to me. That's
I'll
obvious.
do it later.
And I was broadcasting, so now they've got listeners of something like 50, 60 million people around the world. It's mental, the listenership of the World Service. And I used to host this show with someone
It's a big
else.
place, Steve.
The World?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And anyway, so I had to be into Brookhouse for the broadcast at 10
Just
o'clock
get
every
my
Friday
drink.
morning to broadcast around the world to 50 million people, right? And one week, I went to the toilet in my house, right? Everyone had left. I got there a bit late. I just got up a bit late. Already against me. The clock was already against me. Had to be there at 10 o'clock, broadcast around the world. And we've got two toilets in our house, downstairs one, right? And the door had already been dodgy. It was one of those doors where you had to give it a bit of a kick as you went in. It was getting a bit tight. I don't know what the wood was expanding or something. You know, I'm in there, and same thing again happens. No toilet paper. I think, oh God, I'm gonna have to somehow kind of make it upstairs.
Why don't you check first?
I normally do, Rick. I normally do. It's just on certain occasions when I'm bleary-eyed or something, I forget, or occasionally I forget. Normally I do check.
Right.
And you've got to bear in mind that it's not like this is happening every week. This is over years that these incidents have accumulated. So
You've condensed them.
for the purposes of this anecdote.
Sure.
Yeah. And great. You're just brilliant to keep the pace of an anecdote there, Rick. You've just drawn in. I don't know where I am now. Anyway, I know where I am. I'm trapped in the toilet with no toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's where I am. And I'm thinking maybe I could peel off some of the wallpaper, things like that. But there's nothing I can do. I've got to go upstairs. Well, exactly. But I've got to go upstairs and find
Toilet paper? Was there any?
There wasn't.
There
Sadly.
wasn't.
I've got to go upstairs and maybe find a notepad or something like that. And so I try the door. Right, the door's wedged. And I'm pulling on the door, and I can't get the door open. It's just like it won't come open, and it's already. And I knew it was going to come to this at some point. Like this is like the clock's ticking. I'm trying to pull the door open, trousers around my ankles again, and I'm thinking, well, what I could do is I could open the window, I suppose, and like try and climb out, but not really because I got the trousers around the ankles. And that's
Or if it was raining, just stick your ass out. Two birds with one stone.
Sadly, it was a beautiful day, Rick.
I call it the World B Day.
Can we get moving?
And so what I'm thinking is, well, I got my mobile phone in there, luckily, because it's in my pocket. I'm thinking, well, maybe I could phone. I was seriously thinking,
Kleenex.
maybe I'll phone the fire brigade.
By this point, I mean, it just dried.
No, it hadn't. It was.
Hold on, was that little puppy not around? Because sometimes you can call that, it's got a little bit wrapped round it.
Listen.
Or
This is a
just use the
serious
puppy
issue.
itself.
There's 50 million people around the world going to need to hear my voice in like 30 minutes.
Exactly.
And
Where's Steve? He's not locked in the toilet again, is he?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
So So I'm thinking about phoning the fire brigade, and I'm thinking,
Sure.
like, if I do that, it's gonna, it's gonna be the first call that goes straight on the speakerphone
Yeah.
for like the entire fire brigade service everywhere.
With a butch hero carrying you down over his shoulders with your trousers around your ankles. Can I
Exactly.
just not pull him up? No, you've got to be taught a lesson.
Yeah. But I imagine the idea of phoning up and going, hello there, I'm trapped in a room in my house. Oh yeah, which one is it? Oh,
It's
I don't
quite
need
small.
to know.
It's quite small. Is it?
Yeah. It's not the toilet, is it? Because we don't want to come and rescue someone who's trapped in the toilet.
Which
No.
service do you require? Paper?
So I think I can't find the fire brigade. The clock's ticking. So then I think one of my housemates is still in the house, but still asleep. So I phone the house number. Right, phone rings and rings and rings for ages, and eventually he answers the phone. Right, gets out of bed, answers the phone. Yeah, hi, it's Steve. All right, what's wrong? Oh, I'm
What are you doing?
downstairs.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I didn't wait. No. What are you doing? Just in the
I'm
toilet.
just downstairs in the toilet.
Oh, yeah, what are you
Trapped.
doing? Well, I've finished what I'm... Have you got any toilet paper?
Any bog roll.
Yeah.
So he had to kind of scrape together a few bits of paper, you know, and sort of tinfoil or whatever he could find
Yeah.
in the house.
A cactus.
Sometimes
Oh, no.
underneath the door, right? And now I said, can you move away from the door because I don't want you to hear me as I'm, wiping it. And so
You
he
didn't say that.
Yeah, well, I didn't want him to, that's embarrassing.
Sorry,
That's embarrassing.
What were you wiping it with? Not tumbleweed. What do you mean? What
No, but
noise?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right.
So then I say, right, can you smash
Why
the-
was he hovering? Why didn't he want to walk away? Will you keep going out? What was it? Outside with a glass to his ear.
Yeah. Thankfully, there was a window in the door, but it was frosted glass. You could just see my.
It hasn't
semi-naked
started well.
Body moving around.
Oh, for
And,
fuck's sake, this is going to
so
take
eventually I said to him,
a
"Look,
million
just
years.
kick the door in."
Oh, it's
So
actually
I
going
kicked
pretty
the door
quick.
in, so you have to pay for it. I'm like, yeah, but I got to go to the service. Well, yeah. And he was a lovely man. He's the weakest man.
It does stack quite well.
If there's one person you don't want to have to throw their body weight against the door, it's him. He's like heel snap before the door will. So he's smashing
Yes.
This sounds like a fetish to me, though. He went in there, and there you were naked with lots of toilet paper. And you go, oh, you've broken the door down, and there I am. Again.
Oh, you've rumbled me, Rick. I wish I'd not told that embarrassing story on the radio. Like it wasn't embarrassing enough, you've just got to make it slightly more seedy.
Oh, so did he get it?
Yeah, and I got to the World Service with like minutes to spare.
Oh,
And interestingly, I told that story to 50 million people around the world.
did they
Yeah,
understand?
I think so.
I mean, is that a bit of a problem when you're on the Will Service? Like, thinking of things that everyone can understand?
Yes.
Because you can't
It's a bit
just
like when
talk
talking
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, exactly, Carl. I think you're on thin ice there, worrying about people understanding what you're saying.
No, but you can't talk about stuff that's on the telly and that, because some people say, well, we haven't even got a telly here.
Oh, yeah, you're listening to XFM 104.9.
Small or medium item or golden XP. I'm giving you the item.
Nirvana,
You win a
all
fight
apologies on
with
XFM
things
104.9.
in
I'm Ricky
gameplay.
Gervais,
Ooh.
obviously with me, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Well, Steve,
Shit.
I met up with. I know it's forbidden usually.
I don't know why you
Let me
keep
just
doing it.
explain to the listener. Me and Steve have got a
Buys
little
your
bit of
large
we're not
items
allowed
at
to talk
plus
to
3
Carl
value though.
during the week because he comes out with too much dynamite, and we want it to be fresh, and it's just unfair. And if he sees us laughing, he clams up a little bit because he knows something's wrong with his head. So I was in a pub and Carl called. He returned a call. I'd called you earlier, and I said, "Oh, I'm just across the road. Come over." And he came over, and we had a conversation. And I kept saying, "No, save it." And I can't remember half the things he was saying, but I do remember one thing he said.
I may be young for a
He
captain,
said
but I've
that
seen
the
my
human
share of
eye never
storms.
grows.
Go ahead.
He said, unlike your ears and nose that keeps growing all your life, he says the human eye never grows. Now there's a little bit of, he said, now you look at a baby, it's got big eyes. It's got the same size eyes as it will have.
When
Well,
a
it's never-
baby's born, everyone always says, oh, look at its eyes, don't they? Because that's like the main feature.
Yes.
They're quite big. They don't grow.
Come on, give me that
they don't
shield.
grow smaller, they stay the same size.
What you mean once you become an adult, you've the same size?
No,
eyes?
as soon as you come out of the womb, your eyes, the size they are as a little baby, they stay the same size.
Until
Just
you
like the
die.
sockets.
And I said,
Yes.
I pointed out to him, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
I said, if that was
I've got
true,
another
Steve
salvo.
Merchant, when he was a baby, with these
You
eyes
need
he's
a
got now, with
bit of an
hammerhead
increase in
shaft.
cycle.
You don't want to go lay into the eye.
Do you know what I mean? Just to prove my point.
I didn't laugh.
Good.
When he said that.
Respect.
Do you know what I mean, though?
I've got the eyes are the windows of the soul. and mine happen to be enormous
French
plate glass
windows.
windows. Yeah. But you know, but
No,
nevertheless, they're beautiful.
but
Many people find them beautiful.
yeah, they're great. Yeah, many people do. But
Do you know they don't have kneecaps either?
My eyes, or
Please
What?
destroy the
Babies.
rest of the tyrant's
When they're
skull.
born, they don't get kneecaps until they're about 2.
they don't get
is
knees.
that true?
And
Yeah,
also,
What are you
it might be
talking
true,
about,
it might
Carl?
be true.
But isn't it
Lago
like
was a
isn't it
work
a
of
little
freedom.
bone is part of the?
Well, no, but
I may not be
you've
the
got
most
lot more bones when you're born than
yeah,
But
you
I
get
must be the
300 when
cheapest.
you're born, then 205 when you're an adult.
Yeah, they all fuse, don't they?
Do they?
The head's got to be all soft to come out. As we said earlier, you know.
I would know. I'm a
9 years.
shark.
Oh
So
God.
what did you say when he said about my eyes being huge?
Okay, get off it.
That isn't nice, considering he's not here. I
Yeah,
said I
talking
wait
about
until
the
he's here when I slag him off.
Yeah, very well. No, nice one, Carl. You're an honourable man.
Oh well, I know. You see, the thing is, right, that made me think that it might be a little bit of truth in this.
There is as well,
that-
the ear thing. Isn't that with old
That's
men
true,
who
yeah.
have really long ears
Yeah,
and big noses?
yeah.
You mean
Do
that-
they eat buns and walk
Oh,
around in
crap,
buns, these old
So
men?
you mean that
I
the
got
ears
like
and the nose carry on growing?
head.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. It's cartilage.
Yeah, but not like
Closer
Pinocchio.
attention.
No. After you're dead, you leave a body lying around. He's got huge elephant type
Really?
ears,
You left him long enough?
4-foot nose. That's what. Yeah. No,
Probably
but
okay.
you see, it's about the focal
Yeah, look at that tick.
length in your eye. You see, because it's like a big
Alright,
lens,
let's go.
so it makes sense that they couldn't change that much. Because an owl, do you know why an owl turns its head round, sort of like 180 degrees?
No.
Because it can't move its eyes. Because the eyes take up the whole. It's the biggest eye in the animal kingdom. The eyes take up the whole of its skull.
Really?
Yeah, and it has to move its. Yeah.
Has it got a brain in there as well?
It's got a brain in there, yeah, above the eye. Yeah. When I say the whole of the skull,
Quite, yeah. There's
Yeah.
also some space for the brain.
what I meant is the two diameters of the eye is the diameter of the.
You've lost me
skull.
there with diameters. And
You didn't like maths, did you?
don't like maths. Never understood it. Couldn't get to grips with maths. I don't know about you, Carl.
Did you do maths, Carl?
Now, how did you do in your exam
Fire's
for the maths?
remorse never be
Did you do
remorse.
that? I bet yours was rather like my theory, which is why do you need to figure it all out when you've got a calculator?
Exactly.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
You're
And I
right.
agree.
Well, let's play a record, and afterwards I'm going to be testing you on your homework this week, Carl.
Could we do White Van Man first?
We could do just to no. They've got to
No,
know
just to
what they're
remind people.
dealing with. Yeah. Carl's homework was to read all about, as you know, Che Guevara.
Absolutely.
Last week he did well on Rasputin, didn't he?
Did very well on Rasputin. Yeah,
and
cast with flying marks there.
So let's have a bit of Wu-Tang, shall we?
Then let's have White Van
Carl.
Man. White Van Carl. Nice.
Yeah.
Don't erase none of that good shit.
Wu-Tang Clan there, Steve. XFM 104.9, Oliver Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Now, I just reminded something else Carl's in the week. I know it's forbidden to talk to him, but I'll tell you this. He was very excited about the Friends Reunited. He was a bit nervous at first, wasn't he, last week? But he was really getting into it. And in the pub he was talking about the people. He said,
My fight
I'd
isn't
never
with you,
go on a
but if
reunion
you
though.
insist.
So I'd never do that.
What, a school reunion?
Yeah, and he wouldn't want to see anyone. And I went, well, I said, wouldn't you want to see those two lads with the big heads and the webbed hands?
Oh yeah, these were people you went to school with, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't knock about with them. They were in the class.
What were they called?
Freaks.
Right.
Right? And he said, no, I wouldn't want to see them. He said, because what could you say? Oh, you haven't changed much. Right? And he said, and they wouldn't go anyway, would they? I said, why? He went, well, they didn't have any friends. And I said, well, weren't they friends with each other? And he went, no, that would have been too obvious. Like, they passed together and went, no, I know it's tempting, but let's not.
Everyone would think that's just what we were going to do.
Yeah.
Waiting
Yeah.
to be filled.
So they didn't even hang around with each other.
No.
See, I must say, in my head, I've got something like it's like some sort of extra thing from Blake Seven, that they're like some sort of lagoon monster, but they just have slightly oversized heads, do they?
See, does your head grow? Your eyes don't. Does your head? Because maybe they've got to a point now that it's all sort of caught up with each other.
Well, at the time, the eyes were very small and the head was huge.
Just a very big head. And
Yeah.
the fingers aren't going to change. That's not.
They had
Not funny.
webbed fingers.
It was like the penguin in Batman.
Really? Are you sure?
No, honestly.
Are you sure they weren't wearing mittens?
No, seriously.
Yeah, it wasn't home economics. They weren't getting something out of the oven, a very hot dish, were they? Every time you saw them.
But why were there two, but they weren't related and they weren't friends?
I don't know. I suppose it's like asthma and that, innit? Some kids have it. and it just was a
Yeah,
coincidence.
but that's what's quite a common thing. Webbed hands, Carl.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't think of it, do you? When you're a kid, you just sort of
Oh,
when
yeah,
you when you first see them.
Yeah.
There goes the frogmen. Anyway, Carl, look, let's have a little quick session of White Van Man. For those that don't listen to the show regularly, the Sun, as you may know, has a section called White Van Man where a member of the public gets asked their opinions on the week's big political and social hot potatoes. Carl, we just thought it would be funny if you answered some of the questions. It's not so much questions; it's just your views really on these big news stories. What do you make of Olympic ski hero Alan Baxter testing positive for drugs?
What did he do?
Well, he won a gold medal in the Olympics, and
For what?
he was a skier,
Right.
and he won gold medal, and they've just tested him positive for some kind of illegal drug.
But what? I mean, if he did, why take drugs to ski?
Why
Because all
take
you do
drugs?
is balance.
But imagine, it'd be amazing if you were stoned, like going down a hill.
Yeah, it's not like you have
But
to.
it's not going to help you. Is
No,
it?
it's
not
just
like,
gravity that's doing all the work, isn't it, with skiing?
Yeah, but it's often to do with your athleticism, isn't it? It's
No,
to
but
help
it'd be
you.
like saying, and we've just found out the people on the toboggan were on crack. It's not going to help them. You,
Yeah, but
you sit there and you go with the flow,
Yeah.
and you try and you hold on.
Could I say, the drugs he was
Apparently
taking
that's his defence.
probably
Carl.
it probably wasn't jacking up H or dropping a few E's or getting stoned. He was probably taking more sort of
Steroids.
performance enhancing drugs as opposed to him just like scoring some shit around the corner from someone,
but that
getting off his tits and jumping in a toboggan. Doesn't mean that, does it?
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't off his nut.
Yeah, yeah. You tested you. You pissed out your head.
But why doesn't he just say, "Don't be stupid. Why would I do that? It's just not going to help me out."
But it is, isn't it? Because performance enhancing
I don't
drugs
know.
do.
Wait a minute, Steve. Wait a minute, Carl. Right, look at this way. Okay, look at me. Yeah, have I got his attention?
Yeah, the lights glinting off your ring there.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
you're
yeah.
attracted to.
Okay, right. No, keep concentrating. Right. Some athletes, you're aware they take drugs. That's to build up
Swimmers
muscle.
and stuff.
Yeah, swimmers. For
Runners.
example. Runners, yeah. Not only do they help build muscle, right, but they can actually, give them a boost performance-wise,
Yeah.
sort of like steroids and all this sort of stuff. Right? So that's the sort of thing we're talking about. Okay.
Right. So again,
He wasn't on a
why
bong
would that help?
before. What?
Why would that help you when you? All you've got to do is balance on skis.
Not when you're at the Olympic level.
More rings,
Yeah.
more bounty.
There's a lot to do with your body and your
it's
legs.
practice, isn't it? It's like if you've skied for years, then you've got good balance after a bit.
Oh, do you know what, Carl? Do you know what? You've made a mockery of drug taking. Well done. Right,
Yeah.
next one, Steve.
I hate this bit. I hate this.
I don't know if you saw it. What did you make of Posh Spice's Warts and All documentary?
Yeah, I saw a bit of it.
What did you make of it?
I mean, people are slagging them off, aren't they? Saying, she's daft and that, but
Don't make you.
You should know. I'm a bit
I think they're all right. Honestly,
Yeah,
you know,
I think they're all right.
she's all right. I mean, I think David's really a decent bloke.
Sure. Would
Yeah.
you agree that he's quite a simple man?
Yeah, but he's a footballer. He doesn't need to be. Do you know what I mean? It's like me.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I only got an E in history, but knowing about the Tudors doesn't help me press these buttons and put another CD on.
No, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, good luck to him. And he's done well out of it. And it's just
Yeah.
jealousy.
Yeah.
I remember though, when I was back in Manchester, I was in Piccadilly train station, and he was there, right? Not as big a star as he is now,
Yeah.
back then, but he was stood there, and I was so close to going over to him and saying, "Did you go to my school?" Because I recognised his face, but I didn't know who he was. Do you know when you sort of go, "Sure, I went to school. It's not the one with the big head."
Yeah.
But I do recognise him. And my girlfriend got off the train, and I said, "I'm sure I know him." She said, "Yeah, it's David Beckham." And I was
Oh,
so
thank
close
God
to
for your
going over.
girlfriend. Does she get an awful lot of scrapes, does she?
She does, yeah.
Okay. What about the fact that the pension crisis
Sure.
is going to force Britons to work into their 70s, Carl? You might have to carry on working into your 70s before you can claim a pension.
I think it's a good thing. Because you see a lot of old people who look bored.
Okay.
And I honestly think if you keep your brain busy,
Yeah,
you'll live longer.
yeah.
It's only when you actually shut down, right, that's when your body sort of dies because it doesn't feel it has a purpose. It's like if you've got flu, keep going to work. If you have a day off, you just feel worse. You'll mope about at home. Doesn't do you any good.
What about
whatsoever.
where do you draw the line then? What if you say lose a finger? Pop into work?
Depends. If you can't concentrate because it's painful,
But what if you're a typist?
Or
you're not going to
pianist?
type as many words, but you'll do more at work than you would having a day off at home.
Sure. Okay. Tony Blair turning trendy with his Paul Smith designed naked lady shirt. I don't know if you've seen this. It's the one with the naked ladies on the cuffs.
And I mean,
finally,
See, this is what annoys me about this feature. It's just, what's that? So what?
yeah, but it's the Prime Minister of this country wearing a trendy shirt with naked ladies on the cuffs.
Alright.
Okay. And finally, what do you make of the fact that Top of the Pops have banned Will Young singing both tracks on the #1 slot, and consequently he wasn't on there at all? They had to show the video. The first time anyone's ever made this demand. He wants to sing both the A and B side.
Well, he
It's,
can't.
it's double A, yeah.
Double A
it's-
side.
That's what they wanted to.
That isn't how it works, is it?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And the thing is, which one? I mean, at the end of the day, loads of people have bought it, haven't they? And it's
Yes,
like one of the
yes.
best. So it doesn't really matter what it does because people have got it. They can listen to what song they want at home. Doesn't matter about what Top of
If
the
I
Pops do.
don't have
Yes.
what
And
you need, I'll help
it's
you
just
find
annoyed me
who
now.
does.
It's
Who's annoyed you?
just what goes on in the world. I tell you, you're better off not knowing. It's better being in my little world. If that's what people are talking about on the streets and asking the white van man, do you know what I mean?
I think you're right, Carl. I think you're right.
Jeez.
Shall I play a lovely song for you? Because you're getting all stressed now, aren't you?
I've not had a good day.
No, I know. We tell you about it later. It's not a good day. Well, I'm going to play a Neil Young track here of Harvest. It's Alabama. It's beautiful, and this is for Carl.
See that mountain? Have an empty chest, waiting to be filled.
Athlete, West Side. I still like that one.
It's a good track.
Yeah, I was worried that it's a bit of novelty. It would go off very quickly, but it's good.
No,
I
it's
really
not
like
bad
it.
at all.
On XFM 104.9, I'm Richard Mays with me, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington, Steve.
Well, we were talking about the news just now, and there was a story I heard in the week. I think it was on the radio, and I don't know all the details. But what I heard was that a number of, I think it was Falkland, maybe Gulf War veterans, were, I think, suing or complaining to the government because they wanted compensation for post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but it seems to me that if you're in the army and you're a soldier, a certain degree of trauma is kind of inevitable. I mean, after all, if you're any good at your job, you are going to see people getting killed. So I don't understand what the ins and outs of it are. I don't know why.
No, when he came back, and Tony Blair met him and goes, all right, well, not really, no. Well, there was people shooting at us, and everything, it was all muddy. Right, well, I will.
There was a drill sergeant just kept shouting, saying, "Look at you, stupid boy, where's this gun from?" And I just cleaned the gun and it was fine, and now he's doing the clean it again.
Yeah, the boots, they were shiny. He's got to do that, it's more...
His neck was as big as his head.
Well, yeah, but you don't know what they, you know...
I don't know what the ins and outs of it are, but
what you got to do is make sure you know what you're going into. That's what I do. You got to check the small print. So if I was, going over to like the Falklands or the Gulf, I'd put my hand and go, will it be horrible? And I go, you at the back, yes. Will it be horrible? It will be horrible. Yes, it will be horrible. There will be shooting and lots of death and everything. I go, right. I'm not going to go. And they go, okay then. Okay.
that should be fine, yeah.
Should be fine. Yeah, just got to go. Is anyone else scared about this? Pretty much all of us. Okay, then we won't send anyone.
Exactly.
My brother went into the army, right? Because he couldn't get a normal job, and my dad said, if you don't get a job by such a date, that's it, son. You're going in the army. When was the Falklands? Was it about
81.
Right, and he joined back in like 81 or something. And he I don't know, he was in Aldershot or something.
Oh yeah.
And he wrote back to my mum saying, a bad time to join, bad time in this.
You'd make a
So she wrote.
What bad time to join? That's so sweet, Carl, isn't it? That's like, dear Dad, yeah, well done.
Don't think you've noticed.
Yeah, I was on the dole, that's for sure. Thank you, Johnny. A month before Belgrade. Okay, go on.
My mum called up, spoke to the sergeant, and said, "Can you leave him out of this one?
Can you leave him out of this one? What, the Falkland War?
He's only just joined." And she called him Chuck, which she doesn't. Like she's one of them. I think it's a northern thing, like saying, "How are you, Chuck?"
Yeah.
And she called the sergeant Chuck, and the sergeant said to like my brother, "Your mum, she's called up and asked if you can not go," which of course, we'll see how it goes. But can
What?
you tell
What
her?
do you mean? Why did the sergeant even entertain this?
Well,
Pilkington, come here. Your mum's been giving me a bit of earache. Now listen, tell her I've told you, but can you call her, because she called me Chuck and everything. Can you call her and say you don't mind? Well, not really. Oh, please, because I've promised her I'll... Say you want to go.
More bounty.
No, please, say you want to go. Why was he entertaining this phone call?
probably because he was new.
What?
Because he was new to the army, I suppose.
Who? No, I mean the
your brother.
sergeant.
I don't know.
So-
Maybe they do that.
So what happened? He didn't go in the end?
So he didn't go. No.
You can't do.
But that's ludicrous.
I love it. That going over the top. Hilton, I've got a note. Yeah. Is this really your mum? Yeah. Okay. No, this seems to be in order.
Because I noticed it says, I do not want to go into the army. I don't want to go and fight. And it's crossed out and it's good. Mum says don't.
Yeah.
Go. Now, you didn't write this yourself.
No,
did you,
my mum
Pilkington?
wrote this. Okay.
You definitely wrote this yourself.
Your excuse. You're going to have to fill envelopes.
No, I'm sure if he was needed, he would have had to go. But I think they made a bit of a special effort. They sort of said, oh.
Well, it wasn't conscription anyway. Oh no, no.
But when the other soldiers going around just going,
Pilkington.
He ended up being a mechanic in there, and he got kicked out for going for a packet of fags in a tank.
what?
Now wait a minute. Do you mean he nipped down the shops in a tank?
I don't think that. You made
Honest
that
to God, that, and he went off with the sergeant's wife. So that didn't help, and he ended up getting kicked out.
Sorry, your brother's a genius.
I love this. First of all, he gets a call from his mum, going let him up. He goes, oh God. Then he goes, where's Pilkington? His mum's on the phone. Where is he? He's near your house, Sergeant. Near my house? Well, why is... No reason. Well, when he comes back, when he's finished, tell him his mum called. And can he get me a packet of fags? Tell him to walk this time. This is ludicrous.
So the sergeant found out that he was
But I've
Yeah.
sleeping with his wife.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was
Did
quite
your
young.
mum phone up and say,
I'm
let
a
him
bit
off?
of a legend.
Don't
Let him
court
off
martial
this
him.
time. Can he... Yeah. That's fantastic.
But he misses it. I mean, I haven't seen him for about 11 years. But ever since he came out, he kept getting into trouble and that. In the army, you know, people slag it off. But I think if you're a certain type of person, it's good
He
for you.
didn't straight in there. How did it?
No.
He was going down the shops in a tank. He was dragging someone
No,
behind
but
their back.
it's
Yeah.
really weird. It's like back then, he was like a
Bravery
proper adult, and he had a
without
house, and he
strength is a
collected crystal
sword.
with his wife and that. And now, he hasn't got any of that.
Has he got the wife?
No,
Has he got the crystal?
don't think he has.
And he hasn't got the house.
Seriously, I haven't seen him for about 11 or 12 years.
Oh,
So I haven't even spoken to him.
Carl's stories always start off nice and funny, and then they just leave me empty and slightly
Yeah.
depressed. I don't know whether to hug him or shoot him, put him out of his misery. Can we take Carl to the... phone in if you think I should take Carl to the vets and have him put down, because it's just too stressful. Hyde's main offender, XFM 104.9. Wow, it's that time in the show where I test Carl on his
Homework.
for the week, history, the re-education of Carl Pilkington. As you know, we found out last week that he'd taken one GCSE and he got an E, and it was history.
Do you know, Steve, I haven't told you this. Went shopping on Sunday. Buy some new jeans. Was in a shop. Saw an old lad who I haven't seen for about 2.5 years. Went, you alright, mate? How you doing? First thing he said, sorry to hear about your exam results.
God. And he listened to the show or someone?
Yeah, he was driving us on the way to a football match or something.
He knew that you were on the show, that he
Yeah.
heard this.
First thing he said, so sorry about your exam results.
Haven't people have been coming up to you in the station going, do you want to talk about it? Or
God.
well, you did take it pretty
We
badly
barely got
for a
our flags up.
29-year-old man.
Just a bit of a shock because it annoyed me that
It wasn't a shock. You
No.
knew you hadn't got any.
No, I thought I'd have got a bit more than that. I wasn't expecting, you know.
But you didn't even think you took history, so that must have been a bonus.
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend said.
Yeah.
So, well,
But didn't
yes,
she say something quite philosophical, which was like, you know, you didn't even have a need this morning?
yeah, she said yesterday, you know, you didn't have anything
Yeah.
today,
Exactly.
which was good.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Anyway, okay then. Well, you were tested on Che Guevara. Right, Carl.
We should just, hang on, we should just remind people what happened, because
This
last
is a
week
little
we gave...
series. I've got lots of these little books, right? They're about like 2.5 inches long by about 2 inches wide. Those tiny little things you see in the sort of on the front counter of Waterstones or Smiths, and it's the Life and Times, a series of all the greats in history. Last week you read about Rasputin. You wasn't impressed.
no.
This week,
This book's a little bit thicker than the Rasputin one.
no, it's the same. I think was it? Maybe the writing's
Thicker
smaller.
writing or something.
But okay, Che Guevara. Who was Che Guevara? Just now, you learnt to pronounce it, right? And how do you remember? You told me the week how you remembered what his name was.
Shay is like shake, and his surname is like guitar.
Right,
Shavar.
okay.
But anyway, right.
Tell us what you know, and we'll ask.
Right, first of all, his name isn't really Shay.
Right.
It was something else, and Shay means buddy in wherever he's from Argentina. Right, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, so anyway, he was born, and he was...
My fight isn't with you.
By the way, Carl's not reading this from a book now. This is all out of his own head.
This
'cause
is not pre-planned notes.
No, this is. I mean, I know it
never
sounds written, but he's just
Right,
ripping on this.
here we go.
Go on.
He was born, he had bad asthma as a kid, which I thought was quite interesting because they didn't have cars and that back then, and that's what they're blaming asthma on these days. The bad build of traffic and that.
Well, they didn't have cars.
That's what they have now.
Okay.
So that was something I picked up early in the story.
He had asthma.
His dad was into politics. He wasn't a politician or anything, but he was, they were into the politics.
Sure.
So he sort of grew up around a family who was into, watching the news and that, keeping up to date with what's going on in the world. So that sort of rubbed off on him. He went to school. He was doing stuff on medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to be a doctor, or he thought he did. Anyway, he learned really quick. He did like 6 months work in about 3 months. So he could have some time off school or something.
Right.
So he took that time off and went to travel South America with his mate
Okay.
on a motorbike.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he saw all this bad going on in the world. He thought, oh, this is bad, this.
Yeah.
I should do something here. I could change this, make it a nicer place to live. So he said, what I'm going to do is join a gang that sort of is against the like the government.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Am I right so far?
Yeah.
You're doing very well.
Right. And the woman who he met, who was like running this gang, is a woman called Hilda, who he later married.
All right.
And Hilda introduced him to Castro,
Right.
who was like the head cheese of the gang,
Right.
who wanted to change things.
Okay.
And
Yay,
so
it's my favorite
she said like,
air
this is I think his real name was Engelbert or something like that.
Ernesto.
What?
Ernesto.
She said, this is
Thank
Ernesto.
you.
He does medicine. Should have him in our sort of army. So
Yeah.
when there's injuries and that, he can make people better.
Yeah.
So he said, yeah, all right then. So he joined the gang and they went like went to sort of. I'm chopping it down a bit.
No.
No,
This isn't-
sure.
this isn't
You're
really-
you're condensing.
It's not in real time.
No.
So anyway, so they go.
It feels
through,
like it.
you see, this is what I wanted to ask a question.
Well, listen. Let's cut to the chase then. So,
Okay,
obviously, he made his name as part of the Cuban Revolution.
Yeah.
Do you know what date that was?
No.
Okay. And obviously, so he had big involvement in that.
Yeah.
Which country was he caught?
It was caught
See that flag?
in Bolivia.
Yeah. How did he die?
They executed him.
Yeah.
He shot him, and his last words before he died, right? The guy's there with the gun, and he wasn't scared. He wasn't like crying or anything. He said to the bloke with the gun, he said, "Go on, shoot me. Be a man."
Yeah.
Said,
Yeah.
and they shot him.
And did it tell you what happened to him after that? His dead body?
No, but Suzanne was telling me about this the other night. She said there's more to it than that. They stuck it in a glass coffin, didn't
Yes.
they?
Yeah.
Well, no. But before that, they cut off his hands and his feet.
And sent him to the.
No, and that's because they buried him in different places, and then they buried the body. I think they might have sent the hands to Fidel, but they buried him in an unmarked grave because they didn't want anyone to start using his grave or his tomb as a place of martyrdom. But of course, that just made him even more of a martyr because no one knew where he was buried. So it just meant that he was
Yeah, but
even
that
more
wouldn't
of an
work
icon.
anyway, because if they did find out, that's more places people can go and sort of grieve. Do you know what I mean? If you've got all these different graves,
What with different parts of his body?
well, you've got a foot over there, and it's like, well, oh God.
His head over there.
Thanks for what
Sure.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, so all in all,
essentially, what's your summary of Che?
yeah, you like him more than Rasputin, don't you?
A lot better bloke than Rasputin. I can understand why he gets one of those little books. Well worth knowing about, and good bloke. Did a lot,
Crammed a lot into his short life.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting bloke.
But just on the subject of Che Guevara, Steve called me up in the week because he was going through the duty log. We love the complaints on the BBC duty log, and someone had written in because one of the Blue Peter presenters was wearing a Che Guevara T-shirt. And what did the bloke say?
Yeah, this is a series of people can phone in and write and complain to the BBC about different things.
Why would you complain about wearing something?
Well, listen, no, this was the thing. Is you can phone in, but the best one. I mean, there's been some amazing complaints.
Oh, there's some great ones.
The best one, my favourite one that wasn't a complaint, but was actually just someone had to phone in, was what an excellent edition of Kilroy this morning.
Yeah,
Which I
but
thought
there's
was
lots of that. There's things like Esther was
Go ahead.
superb. Woman
Underestimate.
call
Yeah,
one.
Woman called.
Makes
There
this
was a brilliant one I
more
remember
fun.
once, which was Robbie Williams was wearing a Nike T-shirt on Top of the Pops last night. Product placement on the BBC.
It's just all
So
things like that.
pathetic.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is one phone call. There was a presenter on Blue Peter. She was wearing a T-shirt with Che Guevara's face on it, and someone had written in and said, or someone had phoned in and said, very worried to see the presenter wearing Che Guevara's face on a T-shirt. Are you trying to turn my children into communist revolutionaries?
Yeah.
Imagine who's thinking that. Who's bothering to phone up with that information?
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to say about this?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been championing the work of communism.
Luckily, no one listening to this show can either write or operate a phone. So I think we're pretty safe. So thumbs up to Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Well done to Carl there.
Yeah, no, I know.
I did
Brilliant.
alright, didn't I?
The thing
Yeah,
is,
that-
you,
that-
you keep saying to us you don't understand why history is interesting, and yet you're clearly interested by that. You remember that.
Carl, I've got another.
Yeah.
I've got a few in the series. Can I give you your next week's homework?
Go on.
There you go.
Oh,
Read it out.
Hitler.
Hitler, the life and times of Hitler.
1889 to 1945.
Yeah.
Do you know much about him?
What was the significance of that last date? Why did he? What was that last date, Carl? Why do you think he died in 1945?
End of the war.
Yeah.
Which I'm interested in. So this
Yeah.
will have stuff about Anderson shelters and that.
It might not be
Ships
covered
may
in the
sink,
Hitler
but I'm a good
biography, the
swimmer.
Anderson Shelter, but
Just
I mean,
check if there was a special Anderson chapter. Anderson Shelter chapter.
Well, I'll look forward to this.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
interesting.
Powdered Egg is page 4.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
Alright.
we're going to play a hip hop.
Yeah, it's time for a hip hop hooray. People are absolutely in love with this feature, Rick, as you well know, and I know you're somewhat jealous of it.
Yeah.
This week, I know that Outkast are currently on the playlist, aren't they, with their new single "Whole of the World"? Is that
Yeah.
all? The whole world. Anyway, this is a track from the big compilation Outkast. It's just a sort of compilation of all their greatest hits, and this is a good one. It's called Rosa Parks. Play it, Carl. From their greatest hits album, that's Outkast, and a track called Rosa Parks.
Like it.
Yeah, enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Now, we just had a call from someone impressed by Carl, and Carl's very pleased because this guy has actually done a PhD on Che Guevara. So, in theory, whatever subject he chose, in theory, he's probably one of the experts in the world on this particular field. Now, hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, what's your name?
My name's David.
David. Now where did you do your PhD?
Did it at UCL.
Did it at UCL, mild college. And what was the actual title of the PhD?
It was Che Guevara's influence on class struggle in Europe in the 60s.
And what did you think of Carl's performance?
I thought he did really, really well. The only thing I've never heard those last words before.
So Carl actually knows something you don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
Although you presumably not take that as verified information. You probably wouldn't take everything Carl said as gospel. You'd probably look it up yourself, would you?
I probably would have a look, yeah.
Did you know about baby's eyes?
Sorry?
Did you know that baby's eyes don't grow?
I didn't know that.
You see, that's why you shouldn't take
Yeah.
things Carl says as gospel, because it come out with something vaguely intelligent, and then say, "Did you know about baby's eyes don't grow?"
Any questions that you'd want to test Carl on? Any thoughts? Any things he missed there on the history of Che Guevara?
I think he did really well, and I think he should be congratulated.
Because Carl has problems with understanding why people are interested in history, and even though he's been reading these books, he keeps saying, "Why does anyone care about history? Why is it important?" What would you say to Carl?
I think he should maybe then look at who Che Guevara did influence and why
My
he still
battle
influences
days
people
are
today.
over.
No. Well, he knows that he influenced Citizen Smith, and he knows that if McDonald's ever wanted to swap Ronald McDonald for Che Guevara, it would cost him an awful lot of money. So he is trying to
Tsar is not
apply it to
kind.
the modern world. He is having a go.
Well, maybe you should think like why Rage Against the Machine have him on their T-shirts.
We're out to
Good point,
defur
Carl.
and
What do you think of
king,
that? What do you think
not
they
to
have on the t-shirts,
squabble
Carl?
with nobody.
I thought,
You should
I don't know.
know.
Maybe
I'm a bit of a
that was the
legend
design of the
on
t-shirt.
Lager.
Maybe they wanted another t-shirt.
Maybe they
but
wanted
didn't have
Ronald
any-
McDonald.
But didn't have any in.
Sure.
And they said, "Oh, we'll have that one there." then.
Well, thanks very much. Just before we go, do you think Carl would be an interesting subject for a PhD?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Well, if you're not
Well, hopefully
too
one day
busy.
you'll become a professor. Maybe set that as some
I could
coursework.
be, yeah.
Carl Pilkington. Imagine that.
Cheers, Dave.
Imagine having an MA in Carl Pilkington. Thanks very much, Dave.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, bye.
What encouraged you in that way?
Never said well done.
Really?
Well, you never showed up.
Yeah, you have to be in the same room,
They were too
really.
busy saying, "Who are you?"
yeah.
Mrs. Matthews.
Oh, let's not lay into Matthews again.
Oh,
She's always getting us.
not Matty
Next time,
Matthews,
boys,
not
never
Grimble
less
Matty Matthews.
blunder.
we used to
Never
call her.
be a high
More
flyer.
If she could see you now. What did she say? You'll never be a high flyer.
She said that to me, mum and dad, on,
Really?
on a parents' evening.
What did
And that was after I'd played the drums in Little Donkey.
She clearly didn't know what she was talking about. The pinch of salt.
REM with Orange Crush on XFM 104.9. Well, nearly through, only 20 minutes to go. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve and Carl. Carl, what did you point to me then?
Just reminded me.
Go on.
Of Orange Crush. And you know, we were talking the other night about contraceptives.
No, you said to me, I've got to do lots of homework. You look up how they used, in the olden days, how they used to use elephant dung as a contraceptive. And I went, what? And he went, no, look it up. You make me give me those things. I said, I don't know. Was it they put, when you're running around with dung on the end of your knob, no woman really wants to go near it. Is that how it worked? And he went, come on, you give me things to do.
If you've just written a PhD on how to use elephant dung as a contraceptive, please give me a touch.
And
I'll give the number in a minute.
It's not elephant, it was crocodile.
Oh.
Why?
But, yeah, Orange
Sorry,
Crush.
so you can't, no, whoa. That. What do you mean, it was crocodile dung? How do they use crocodile dung as a contraceptive?
I don't know.
Right, go on, Orange Crush, yeah.
So Orange Crush, what it was, I was trying to look up that thing about crocodile stuff, using it, and came up with another one saying that they used to use a lemon, sort of shaped, right, and the put it on, and the citric acid in it
Kill the
would
sperm?
kill the sperm.
Right.
So they would wear the lemon on the end of the knob.
Was that erotic?
It worked.
Listen, I'll try anything, Carl, mate. If that works.
yeah.
The ladies like that. I mean, could it be anything? Could it be like a melon?
Kumquat?
Yeah, maybe. In my case.
What's those hairy ones?
Yeah.
Anyway, it just reminded me when Orange Crush.
Well, thanks very much for that, Carl. It's and that I didn't even ask him to
No.
research that.
No.
He just,
So Orange Crush reminded you of the lemon contraceptive. Okay. Jolly good.
you could use it as a little lemon squeezer, couldn't you? It could be like a novelty lemon squeezer. You just stand in the kitchen, and then when someone would just come along and go on the end of your.
Did you
Yeah.
make this lemonade yourself?
I did. It tastes funny. It tastes funny. Okay, yeah.
Would you, Carl, this is a quick question to you. Would you ever sort of find yourself in a situation where you might confuse a woman's breasts with mountains? Is that a concern for you, do you think?
No.
Not a problem for you?
Well, not if they're small and humble. I wouldn't.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what, fingers crossed.
If they were small and humble, then I'd pretty much not confuse them with mountains.
Thank God. But I mean, if they were large and sort of pendulous.
And with like quite rocky with snow on top.
Exactly.
Then I'd go, hold on, love.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, love. I was into this, but now
Exactly.
I feel like I'm alone.
Carl, do you know what we're talking about?
Who has done that?
I'll give you a clue. One more time. See, my breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mountains. Shakira. It's a lyric that
Taking
means
the
leave
nation
obsessed
by
with.
storm.
It's quite a nice song. It's got
It's very much like, it sounds a bit like Men at Work Down Under.
yeah, it's got the panpipes.
Is this what's its kid?
Who?
Julio Iglesias.
No, it's Shakira. Consequently, the word Shakira then being mentioned.
I haven't heard of him.
Okay. She's a big Latin star, apparently. Big Latin actress. And anyway, just sing it again for us.
See, my breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mountains. Which is a concern.
Damn, this guy's damning
I've
for
seen
fuck.
a number of times she's woken up and there's been a fat bloke with a beard and a little Sherpa. She goes, what are you doing? And they go, we're just trying to climb this mountain. Look again. Oh, sorry, love.
Oh, it's your tits. I didn't realise.
Gets us
Tits, we thought
closer
we
to
I
victory.
can't believe it. I can't. Well, can we camp here? You can't camp on my tits for the night. No.
Well, why are you climbing them?
Well, I just
'Cause
got
they were there.
confused. They're small and humble. What are you mental? Carl, I love that look of Carl. Carl is looking back and forth. You know when you sort of you go to a cat, and it looks back and forth between two people. That's very much like Carl's looking at us now.
Or when like a child sees a midget or something in the street.
I'm damaged by it.
Transfixed, don't they? And the parents go, don't stare.
When we were pushing Ash, as our producer's in a wheelchair, and we were pushing
He's
through
not a
the
midget, we should make
No, he's not a little midget. He's not tall. But we were pushing him through the VC, and this little kid just came up and just stood in front of him and looked at him.
Yeah.
I just laughed.
It was funny. Do you do that? I imagine that you get caught staring at
Yeah,
Carl.
do you go up to people? Do you go up to people with problems and go, "Mummy, is that a monster?"
Well, I was telling you one about when I used to go with my dad in the taxi.
Oh yeah,
Why,
tell
what
us this story.
Well,
Your
my
father
dad-
was a taxi driver?
my dad, he had loads of jobs, which he did back then. They don't do that anymore, do they, people? You don't
Have a
sort of do
variety
loads
of
of
jobs?
stuff.
Sure.
But at one point, he had a black cab, and I used to go with him. Used to get a beer crate and put it in the front of the black cab,
Yeah.
and sort of
Ooh.
sit just next to the
Comfortable.
meter. And anyway, we got this call, and like the guy on the end of the radio said, "Oh, you've got your son with you, haven't you?" So he said, "Yeah." So it's just like, we've got to pick up at number 11 Village Lane or whatever. And he said, "All right." And it was this woman. It was like a woman version of the Elephant Man.
Wow. The Elephant Woman.
Yeah, it looked like. It was really strange because I was in the front of the cab, and when you're a kid, if something looks odd, you're a bit scared of it, aren't you?
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Look, be all right." And we're driving towards
Just
her.
lucky, oh, don't worry, son. I've got loads of buns.
And just to
I
give
think I'll
you-
just throw one down the street if you run after
you're
it.
being mean, right?
I am
old
a
was
little
you?
bit,
So
yeah.
how old were you? 18?
No, I was about 12 or
Sure.
something like that. 11, 12. And as we got closer to her, it looked like she was holding like a bag of spuds on her shoulder,
For a snack.
Right.
and her head was all a bit mangled and messy and that. And my dad said, "Whatever you do, don't stare at her face."
Yeah.
And she got in the
Because you
back.
turn into stone.
Well, she got in the back, and I had like the mirror, the driver's mirror thing, and
Yeah.
sort of having a look, trying to work out. And he said, "Don't stare at her face." I couldn't work out where her face was. It was that weird.
Oh God.
So I'm not sure you're from Manchester. I think you're from like Narnia or something.
Yeah, you got
Or-
frog boys walking
Yeah,
around
the Lord
with
of the Rings.
that got like the claws of a lobster and the head of a toad.
Yeah.
And you got women getting in with spuds for heads. I mean, what
This is not
what
Manchester.
is
This is not the place you
place?
grew up. This is
Yeah.
mad.
Oh, you can't believe it in London, can you? You come down and go, look, symmetry. It must be amazing.
It must be a thing to do with upbringing, though, mustn't it? And because again, do you know, I've said to you before, years ago when I was a kid and didn't have any worries, good-looking lad, you go through it a bit, have a few more worries, and you look knackered. Now back there's a lot more worries and stuff, so you get a lot more freaks. Whereas in London, everyone's like happy, aren't they?
I
Got
love
loads
the
of money.
fact that stress can cause your fingers to fuse and your
Brilliant.
heads
Yeah.
to grow.
No, but if
She
like,
must have been really stressed to have a head like
Yeah. She, what,
Bag of
yeah,
sluts.
was she an accountant or something?
you know what I mean?
But what did she do? What did she say?
Where
when
was
she
she
got in?
going, by the way?
She couldn't speak.
London Zoo, please.
I think she was going to like a
To the
pet
fair.
shop. Honest to God, on my mum's life, she was. Because at the end of the day, that's a good thing with animals. They don't judge you, do they?
She's not
She
an
was an
animal.
animal. She's a human
She's
being.
not actually an elephant.
No, but
You know the Elephant Man was not actually an elephant. You understand that? He's got no elephant genes in him at all.
No.
That was just a cool name people gave him.
Yeah.
no, it's the name of the disease, isn't it? Elephantitis.
Look, so listen. So this woman, why was she going to a pet shop?
She was going to a pet shop. What, to find a husband?
Is this true?
No, it is true, yeah.
Oh,
But
God.
I'm not taking the mickey because it must be
So-
really bad for
Of
you.
course it
But
is.
Carl,
Oh,
I
we
need to
haven't.
ask.
I'm going on to you today about cutting myself shaving.
Yeah.
I was going on about that. To think that she's probably not alive now, but to think,
But you're saying you're going to say this is a worse problem than a little cut shaving, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
The
think
things
you're right.
that
Carl,
you worry about.
there's a couple of key questions I need to ask. One, if she couldn't talk,
Yeah.
how did she tell your father where to drive her? Did she have it
Probably
written on a
got
note?
some help
Did she
for that
point
home.
with her nose?
Yeah.
Right, this has got silly. Pick your song.
But and also, finally, where did you say she lived again?
It was like in a village, a little small village,
Right.
hidden out of the way.
All I'm saying is we could maybe get like some sort of coach, book some coaches, get a coach party up there to have a look at her, take some photos.
And now
You can make some lemonade.
the offspring of a woman and some spuds. Please enter at your peril. Should it give me a shiny shilling?
Oh, that's terrible. Well, I'm going to play a little bit of Teenage Fan Club song for the lovers here. We left it very late. We've been just, rapping with Carl P here, and this is I Need Direction.
Not even a battle? Maybe a skirmish.
Teenage Fan Club. Oh, they're a good band,
They
aren't
are a good band.
XFM 104.9. Well, we're nearly there. So will your girlfriend be proud of you now? You performed a PhD graduate
It's a
there,
bit annoying because she's not in London today. She's in Sunderland or something, or Newcastle,
right?
working.
So she won't know what your greatest triumph. She saw last week's and you got an E in history, and now this week you come through
Yeah.
with some great praise that Mrs. Matthews never, laid upon
Even
you, did
looked
she?
at. Well,
No, just said you won't be a high flyer. Hey, you've shown them, haven't you?
you never know. I mean, I had mates who, my mate
Reminds
Colin
me of my
Makin,
first
who
voyage
did
around
the disco
globe.
with me.
Pilkins making music, yeah.
Unbearably
Pilky's making
slow.
music.
Yeah.
He was dead brainy. I don't think he's up to much these days.
Sure.
You
Just-
can't plan it.
Yeah.
Just goes to show.
Well, I mean, you can do a certain amount of planning. You can do. I mean, driving a tank to the shops with some fags
Yeah.
never going to mean you're a high flyer.
And that woman who you picked up in your black cab, she's in a circus now, and she
Yeah,
can
happy.
fly, which is good. Am I confusing that with a film? You went to see a film
Nothing
this week, didn't you?
tiny, nothing huge.
What did you see?
All
Um,
about
the,
moderation.
Monsters Inc.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
have a little argument? What was the argument about? Did you have an argument with your girlfriend or something? Because of
Well, the history thing
Oh,
took
the
over
weather
last
is
weekend, to be
free.
honest, when you
I
found
like
out the
the
results.
exercise.
That was like the talking topic of most of the weekend. And,
why? What did she say?
you brought it on yourself. Why didn't you take it serious?
Was she annoyed or upset?
Well, she just sort of said, you can learn. Look, you learned Rasputin.
Oh, I think
If only you
really
did
You've
that.
done that. You've done
Do you know what I
Rasputin.
mean? She said, you can do it if you're told to. She said, it's only because Ricky's told you to read the book that you're reading it.
Does she think we're sort of like taskmasters?
Does she think we bully you?
Nah, she knows it's just a laugh.
Yeah. What did you tell your parents about your?
No,
No. Never.
because they never even questioned where my results were, so I don't want to tell them that, I didn't get any.
No. What? How did they
I
do?
may
at
be
school?
young for a captain, but I've
Didn't have 'em
seen
back
my
then, did
share
they?
of storms.
Right. When was that, Carl? The Middle Ages.
I don't know. Like I say, back then it wasn't about getting results and that, was it? It was just about learning trades. And when you get it,
Jesus.
right, you can put windows
I am
out,
destroyed.
do
He
plumbing.
should. It's dark, isn't it? He's done that first of all.
Maybe
Well,
I'll
so you can do
restart
what
actually.
you've
I
done
want
with
a
multiple
fresh
different
go.
You can do all
See.
sorts.
I want. I'm done
If
having
there's a
with
problem in
this.
this flat, I can call him up and say,
Yes,
this isn't
yes,
working,
yes.
what should I do?
Come on,
And
Ben.
he'll say,
He's
like,
our brain surgeon.
he'll
Yeah.
say,
Yes, yes, yes. Come on.
fix it.
Sure.
Yes.
So what about Monsters Inc? What
Yeah.
did you make of it?
It's alright. It is a kid's film. It sort of annoyed
Is
me.
it?
Okay.
I was having like
What gave that away? Was it the songs? Was it the animation?
Yeah, the fluffy little things that squiggled round on the screen for an hour
Alright.
and a half.
it's
Alright,
annoying
let's go.
because like there's kids everywhere and kids don't watch films, do they?
No.
You know what I mean? They're messing.
I don't know why they make kids films.
And you
To be honest, it's mental.
can't
Then the
concentrate properly
tyrant
when you've got
came
kids,
to establish
Screaming,
making
shouting.
noise around you and that.
his
So I'd
order.
say my little review. Wait until it comes out on DVD.
What a great review that would be! Wouldn't that be great? Film 2002.
Yeah.
Jonathan Ross going, well, I don't want to give it away. Wait till it comes out on DVD.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but not giving it away. It's just that you can't watch it properly when there's kids screaming around you.
sure.
Do you know what I mean?
What are you looking forward to this week? You going to go and see anything?
Just been talking to Ricky now because my missus is away. I'll probably get out a DVD tonight.
Yep.
Rounders.
Oh right.
I
Okay.
thought you might like that.
And if
It's
you
like
can
gambling.
get, I mean, if I can get you tickets, say in the stalls or in a box for the stage version of Midnight Express, would you be up for that?
it's on ice.
'Cause I think it's the final year, isn't
It's
it?
lovely. It's Midnight Express on ice.
Yeah.
And it's a musical as well.
They're on roller
Do
skates.
you have any dope under your jacket? No.
Yeah. It
And
is well worth
it's
hunting out.
great. John Hurt is actually in this version as well, which is fantastic.
It is
He played the Elephant Man. So it's all comes, the universe all comes together.
Have you ever seen the stage version of The Elephant?
No.
You'd love that.
Yeah.
Who's in that? I have seen a clip of it. Who plays him?
I think they got a real guy with elephantitis.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you finishing on?
Let's have a final song for the ladies. It's from the album Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me by The Cure, and it's The Beautiful Catch. See you next
Goodbye.
week.
See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
I mean, a customer.
This is Strokes, and last night we just had a call, didn't we, from Johnny Mango.
Oh, yeah,
Just
Johnny
in-
Mango, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, old the Mankster. And he informed me that one of the worst was his dead, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, Adge Cutler, who was the lead man, I think.
Yeah, he said he died the most rock and roll death you can die. He said he was apparently driving on a terrible cocktail of cider and other things, presumably.
Yeah.
Apples and jams.
Yeah.
And he crashed into a tractor. Now, is that true?
Who knows?
JM's not winding me up.
Yeah,
I hope the Mango Boy's not having a laugh at me. Is that true? One of the Wurzels died by tractor. Did he? Is that true? So give us a call. What's the number again, Carl?
Oh, 0700 800 1234.
If so, I'm sorry that I disrespected them. I didn't know.
Could you imagine
Oh God.
if, right, say if like you're the driver of the tractor
Mm.
and you kill someone, you go, oh God, I've killed someone,
Mm.
and then you look and it's someone famous.
Yeah, or Adge Cutler. Yeah, go on, what was your point?
No, it's just like not
Terrifying,
only
yeah.
it's like you've killed someone, then you look.
But I've
I mean,
yeah, I know what you mean.
And
actually.
what
That
makes
is-
it even
that is
worse? And
terrifying.
what makes it even worse? They were rich.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
that
but
would be.
say if it was someone who's like really big in the world.
No, that is I quite like that. It's an interesting point,
Oh,
that.
that's your bag. No wonder I can't find what I'm looking for.
Oh, right, well,
As Bono said.
did you bring a bag?
Yeah.
Is that under there, Rick?
Sorry about this. I'm not
Play a record.
ignoring.
This is getting a bit sloppy, you know?
No, it's not. No.
No, it is, Rick. It's getting
Is it?
sloppy.
It's never got stuff before. No, I've got a list here because we went to this award ceremony in the week. We were up for an award.
Well,
yeah.
I have to explain it to Carl, because basically we were up for an award, and it's called it's the Trick Awards. Now, Trick stands for Television and Radio Industries Club Annual Awards, right?
We've
It's
never heard
obviously-
of it either.
We've never heard of it. It's some kind of, like, television radio industry club. That's what it's
Yeah,
called,
that's the
television
clue,
radio,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we don't want to. I'm not trying to slag off the award
No.
because it was, you know, it was a big thing, and they really made an effort, and it was really nice. Food was brilliant. It was at the Grosvenor House Hotel, really nice do, and you know, lots of industry people in that there. It was really classy.
We got there nice and early, so you know
Yeah.
we were there for a good 4 hours
Before
which
we
was
had to
fun.
sit down, and but it was just kind of surreal. It was just a bit weird because it was packed with the cream, and literally the cream, big names. You know, Martin Kemp, one of the first people I saw. You know, came in like big TV, radio industry names, on-screen talent, behind-the-scenes people.
John Barnes,
Barnes was there.
Beadle was there.
Sir Cliff Richard was there.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so the voice comes on and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman." Of the president of the Trick Awards, and we had to stand up. All of these people had to stand up and give a standing ovation as he walked to his table to Tom O'Connor, former presenter of Crosswits.
You're joking.
No.
He's the president.
And he came out, he told a few gags, sort of like, it was like, straight away, it was, you know, old school stuff. You want to thank the ladies, because, you know, it was nothing without the ladies, all the lovely ladies here. And we waiting for a joke? No. Just thanking the ladies.
Well, you're forgetting that just prior to that, he said grace.
Oh, he said grace.
Before we ate.
Right? It was me, Steve, and Ash, you know, our producer, the little disabled fella, right? And he's there in his wheelchair, and there's me and Steve. We're standing up during
By the way, can I
grace.
just stop you there?
Go on.
Saw someone in the week, and
Sorry, did we bore you?
you just reminded me then about the
Go on.
little producer who's
Yeah.
in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Last week you said blah blah blah, and our producer who's in a wheelchair got a text from someone saying what's happened to you.
My battle days are
They thought
over,
you were talking about me.
but my weapons
Oh, really?
So yeah.
new for
Oh.
You're handicapped in a different way.
I
So go on.
prefer
And Tom O'Connor, he said, thank you, God, for...
We thought this was a joke initially. We thought it was going to be like a kind of cheeky gag.
That's why we were laughing out loud.
That's why we were laughing raucously.
But anyway, and then he went, I thank you God for this, and help those who walk alone. And Ash went, what about those that don't walk at all? He said, I've never been left out of grace before.
So, but we had to have kind of like bowed our heads slightly, you know. And did we say amen? I know that we were sort of. Lots of people did.
I'm pretty sure
Cliff,
I
I
didn't.
think, probably chimed in there.
Yeah, he
And,
sang it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
It's like Mariah Carey.
waiting
so anyway,
to
so
be
but before
filled.
again, you see, what Ricky's forgotten is before Tom took to the stage, this guy walks up there. I don't know who he is. Says there's a lot of people here this afternoon. You know, it's a wonderful event, but of course there's a load of celebrities as well.
He said, thank you for all the celebrities that have turned up. And then he went, table 77.
Mr. Russ Abbott.
And we all
Round of
clap.
applause. Can we have the spotlight there?
Russ Abbott, by the way, smoking a pipe.
You should know.
Actually, he looked like a bit like Barrett Holmes, the hilarious Sherlock Holmes character.
Then he went, table 107, the cast of Bad Girls. Clap.
We'll have to clap.
And then he went, table 5, Alice Beer. Clap.
Slightly smaller clapping.
Yeah. And it's just like, and I thought, when is this going to...
He went through every single celebrity in the room.
And there were about, 100.
Table 53, John Inman, everyone. It's John Inman. Round of applause.
Yeah, and, table 70, Mr. Simon Cowell. Boo.
Yeah, there was booing there.
And they all booed him.
That was nice.
Yeah, there was a joke, ironic booing, I think.
Did they cheer for Foxy?
We didn't see Foxy.
Foxy wasn't there. He was doing his show. When they went up, they won an award, Cowell and Waterman and Chapman.
Table 43, Peter Sissons, everyone. Peter Sissons. Went through every single name. Ricky got so paranoid they might mention him that we kind of legged it upstairs and were watching from the balconies. They shone the spotlight on our table. And it was largely empty. That was particularly fun. But then at the end, Sir Cliff got up there, right? Because Sir Cliff was giving out the Lifetime Achievement Award, right? He gets up, he uses this speech, he goes, this is a personal friend of mine, a 7 days a week friend. Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Mrs. Gloria Hunniford. Right, we immediately start thinking what exactly were her lifetime achievements.
I think living that long.
That's pretty much it. I don't know what it is she's done,
I can
Gloria
tell you
Hunniford.
what she does.
I don't exactly, I know she used to have a Radio 2 show, I don't think that's
We're
on
not dissing
anymore.
her. We're not dissing
No,
anyone.
good luck
We're
to
not taking the mick out of anyone. But
But anyway,
it was just a strange event.
But Gloria got taken unawares by this and started to ad-lib a speech, right? And I swear to God, about 12 minutes in, she was telling us how, and I can tell you now if you're interested, her lovely daughter Karen is currently in Australia, is partly work, is partly a holiday, Carl, and she's having a whale of a time. But she's not spoken to her for ages.
And then she went, actually she's been there for a long time.
Yeah,
And it's like, I thought she was going to go, she doesn't call, you
Yeah.
do that, you get a blue Peter, and this is how you...
we thought she was going to get photos out maybe, start showing it.
No, it was
just
it was a nice
bizarre.
event, and everyone there. Henry Cooper was there, so Henry
It was
Cooper.
so good because every single element as well was sponsored by someone.
Yeah,
And I was looking at the menu, I've got the programme here, and the menu, like the pudding, is sponsored by Electrolux.
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had a pudding sponsored by
Yeah.
Electrolux.
I was sponsored by Zanussi.
When everyone was doing the prayers, did you look at them with their eyes shut, like you did at school?
What do you mean?
Well, when you had
Did you look at someone with your eyes shut?
no, like you'd do that, you'd do your hands together,
Yeah.
and you sort of look at people with their eyes shut and think that's what they look like when they're sleeping.
Play record.
Can you ever do that?
Table 60. Lisa Tarbuck. That's Corner Shop. Lessons learned from Rocky 1 to Rocky. I love that guitar. That's great. It's real glam rock. That's T-Rex and Bowie. I was going to play some from Ziggy Stardust today, but instead I brought in a different album. I want to play a bit of Bowie. Is that all right?
Oh, of course, yeah, always.
Yeah, bit of Beatles. Still to come up, by the way. We with the education of Carl, last week he did Che Guevara. He did
Very
very
well,
well. Before that, the week before that, you learned all about Rasputin, didn't you? And this week you've been studying Hitler, haven't you? How does that go? How do you reckon that?
It's a bit tough.
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you the full story later, Steve. Do you know much about it?
No.
It's, they're all linked. All these stories I've been reading, they've all got a similar sort of thing going through them.
Will inspire the
born-
crew.
They have a bit of a tough upbringing.
Mhm.
Things aren't going well, and they seem to take it out on other people.
Okay.
But I'll tell you more later.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, I don't think Hitler and Che Guevara.
It's the same
Sort of
thing. Che Guevara, when he was a kid,
Yeah.
had like asthma.
Yeah.
Right? He wasn't an happy kid. Hitler, he.
He only had one
My
ball.
fight isn't with
Well, I
you.
was trying
Right.
to find about that.
Yeah. Seriously, he phoned me up in the week. I said, "How's it going?" He went, "I've skimmed it. I've just skimmed it. I was looking for the testicle thing. Now I don't know if they left that out or it's not true."
Right.
So he was trying to look up that Hitler has only got one ball.
I think they only did it to wind him up. Because it's like, you know, yeah, you might be taking over the world, but we're all saying you've only got one testicle.
Sure.
And it's
So
a
did you look in the index and it's of Hitler, adult, family life, early childhood, testicles? Testicles, absence of.
sort of skim through. 'cause
One of.
Yeah.
Mother brackets other.
Yeah.
Albert Hall.
Yeah.
The only thing I could find was at one point in like when he was trying to run the place, there was a meeting going on, and somebody put a bag in the meeting room and it blew up.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm
the
wondering
table
whether it was under
protected
the
him.
table. Yeah, but
Were
It
you
could have been
wondering
under
if it
the
blew a
table.
testicle?
It was.
Could've
What the testicles under the table?
No, the
Like-
bag. The bag blew off the ball.
No, the ball sack was probably hanging below the protective top, and so that's where he could have lost.
But why would he have only just lost the one?
Because
The way he was sitting.
Cross-legged or something? Sure. Sure. Okay. Well, I mean, again, last week we had a Che Guevara expert phoned up. Maybe they could. Maybe there's a Hitler expert this time who could maybe phone up and confirm the testicle
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah.
What's the number again, Carl?
Oh wait, 700, 800, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You need to have at least done a PhD or something.
I don't think we should invite calls about Hitler. I think we're asking for trouble.
No, I'm talking about someone who's done a study of him and who's done a PhD.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking
All
about any old nutter.
And also, Carl's lottery numbers. He's a little bit more confident this week.
Okay, good.
He went, "They're more like it," and I looked at him and I laughed. He went, "No, even Suzanne said I'm on more on the right lines there." Is anyone who has done a degree in maths or A-level maths that can bear? Carl won't believe this, right? Carl thinks I was trying to. I know I was partly doing it to confuse him. Just see that look on his face, like a cat, right? But there is the chances with a random numbers, for example, the lottery, of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, are no greater than any other single combination.
Right.
Now that's true. I don't mean you're more likely to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 than any other combination put together, but than any other individual combination. They're all equal. It's counterintuitive, I know. I know you think that to get a run of 1 to 6 is less likely than anything else, but it's not. Any named combination, it's not, Carl. If there's a
Well, it's
probability,
never happened. Yeah, it's never happened.
Yeah, but there's any number of combinations that
never happened. Every one of those combinations that have come up have happened, and they're just as likely or unlikely as any other combination, right? It's just that you feel intuitively, right, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is less likely than 1, 7, 12, 34, 60. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't win.
Play record.
Okay.
Wu-Tang Clan, Uzi, on XFM 104.9. Well, here we are, the day before St Patrick's Day.
Oh, hooray! Brilliant.
Guinness, etc.
I hate people. I hate English people, I should say, who are obsessed with celebrating St Patrick's Day. You know, all crazy. It's like Chris Evans used to rave on about it. We're going to Dublin. We're going to get drunk. Wow. It's like it means nothing.
I think XFM just did that. To be
well,
honest.
yeah, exactly. Just as bad.
Careful. They are employers. You don't want to annoy them. What would we do without this?
That's true.
Eh?
Yeah, have an enjoyable Saturday.
No, this is my favourite 2 hours. You like this, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
We can't do this through May and June.
No, we'll be gone.
We've got to record the second series of The Office. What are we going to do, Carl? What are you going to do on a Saturday?
Host the show yourself?
Doing it on my own.
Yeah.
You are not.
Are you seriously thinking of it? Have they
We've
asked you
made
to do
you
it?
everything you.
Why would you not think about it?
Because I've been there, done that.
Next challenge, please.
Oh dear. Do you know what St Patrick did? Why he was
Next
he
challenge,
was
please.
What was he famous for in Ireland? He rid Ireland or something.
I don't know, but I bet he started off with something odd happening in his life.
What, do you think he had asthma or something as a kid?
They all do.
And he took it out on what, though?
What did he do? Exactly, he took it out on something. What did he do? What did he rid Ireland of?
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick.
This is why we're going to get crazy and drunk tomorrow. This is why we're also happy to celebrate his anniversary, or whatever it is we're celebrating. This is
That's why we have a crack.
Yeah, this is why we don't bother to celebrate, the birthdays of James Joyce, one of the great novelists of this century, or Samuel Beckett, one of the great playwrights. We actually celebrate this man, St. Patrick, the man who did what?
Don't diss him. He did a good job of it as well, because there's none there now. There are none of these in Ireland. So he rid Ireland of something.
Come on, Carl. Think of something. Just give us an answer. What's
He went round on a horse whacking them.
He went on a horse whacking them.
Yeah.
What was it, Carl?
What did he rid Ireland of?
Went on a horse. Foxes. I don't know.
No, you're on the right lines.
On the right lines. It was an animal.
Oh. Bears.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Wow! It was snakes.
Right.
And there are no snakes in
He
Ireland.
rid Ireland of all the snakes.
Yeah.
Who did it here then? Because there isn't that many.
Well, I think he had a stab at it over here as well, but got tired and went back.
Yeah.
That's why there's just a few snakes here.
Is
Is it true that there are no snakes in Ireland?
I think it is. I think if someone called us...
And what is there any historical evidence for St. Patrick ridding them of... I mean, how did he do it? Was it like the Pied Piper?
See, I'm not convinced that he did go around killing snakes, but there are no snakes in Ireland, and that's... Yeah, I don't think he is now. If someone knows the ins and outs, we had a few probability experts and statisticians and maths graduates confirming that indeed I was correct, that the probability of 1 to 6 in a row is no more or less likely than any other single combination in a totally random selection of balls. Which brings us back to Hitler, doesn't it? Because he only had one, didn't he? Coming up, we'll be asking Carl all about Hitler, the education of Carl. He's done Rasputin, he's done Che Guevara.
Plus, of course, White Van Carl, where we
White
asked
Van Carl.
Carl some of the, his opinions on some of the hot potatoes of the week.
You learned as you go along because you've got something about St. Patrick there.
Yeah.
That was thrown in for free. That was an extra...
I'll learn you something here. Snakes.
Well, sorry, can I just stop you there and I'll teach you something, right?
Oh, go on then.
You don't learn someone something. You teach them something.
Yeah.
It's not... one's passive. You learn...
Ricky, I'm sorry, mate, but I don't think you should be teaching people how to speak or use grammar. I just don't think it's appropriate.
Snake.
It's embarrassing, frankly, because there's so many errors that you're making. It's like, where to start with you?
Snakes, right? You're talking about snakes.
Yeah.
A lot of snakes are born with two heads. It's like a familiar type thing that happens to snakes.
Okay.
Yeah. They take it for granted, don't they?
Right. Snakes born two heads. They'll fight each other for food, even though it's going in the same body.
Isn't that weird?
Happy to make a sale.
Were there kids at school that you went with who had two heads?
The Snake Twins from Moseley.
There was kids at your school with two heads, was that right? What?
No, they had big heads.
Oh, they had big heads.
And webbed hands, but they weren't related. And they weren't friends because that would have been too obvious, he said.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, listen, before you came in, right, I sneezed a couple of times. So if I'm allergic, I've still got a bit of a cold. And I said, oh God, he went, bloody hell, I was sorry. And he went, you know you can't sneeze with your eyes open. I went, yeah. And then he was obviously thinking to himself still. And after a pause, he went, would your eyes really fly out? And I started laughing. He went, no, because that... Has anyone ever done that thing? Has anyone ever held someone down, torturing them, and held their eyelids open and gave them pepper and see if their eyes would fly out? And he said, and then he went, I'm just looking at him again, the silence, and then he went, of his own accord, he just went, I can't see it happening.
Your song, David.
Jeez, that was destroying.
Bowie. Sorrow. Beautiful. Sorrow by David Bowie. I've got that on a compilation today, but I think it's originally off the Pin-Ups album, the one we did all the covers, because he didn't write that, did he? That was the one with him and Twiggy on the front cover, isn't it?
Right.
I haven't had that for ages. I haven't got that. So.
Sorry, you lost me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you reading a book there?
No, I was just reading the brochure there, the programme, if you will, for the Television and Radio Industries Club Awards that we went to. Incidentally, we lost.
We lost to Linda Green.
Yeah, we didn't win an award.
The best comedy.
But you might be interested to know that Tom O'Connor is in constant demand for corporate functions both here and abroad, and his client list includes many multinational companies. No mean golfer, Tom took the literary world by surprise in 1992 when his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I noticed it didn't take the literary world by storm.
No.
It took it by surprise.
They're going, we can't say storm. We've got to say by surprise, from behind.
But his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I don't know if that's just books about golf, that bestseller list. Subsequent successful books include One Flew Over the Clubhouse.
Brilliant. Genius.
Take a Funny Turn. Follow Me, I'm Right Behind You. And Eat Like a Horse, Drink Like a Fish.
Does it mention Celebrity Squares? Didn't he do that?
No.
He did
Crosswits.
Name that tune.
Once, right? It's
Crosswords. Do you remember Crosswords?
It was from the 80s.
It was like a crossword game show.
It was often with Kate Copstick. But I saw one, right? It was on Challenge TV being repeated. And no, Andy Crane. Remember Andy Crane?
Yeah.
He was the link man, and he went, coming up next, Tom O'Connor with Crosswits with well, in my opinion, one of the best Crosswits players of all time, John Junkin.
Who's your favourite Crosswits player?
It's got to be Junkin for me as well. But Copstick was
Barry
alright.
Cryer's bloody good.
Cryer was good. I watched Call My Bluff in the week.
Is this with Toxic and
yeah,
Colin?
it was quite good. I quite
I
enjoyed it.
imagine you could get on there if you
I
wanted.
used to watch it with what's his name? Famer.
Yeah.
Famer. Yeah. Oh, that was great.
You're
impression.
brilliant impressions, because obviously while Bowie was playing, you were doing your infamous Bowie impression, which is the best one you do, actually.
Well, that's just because Carl said, you know what, I said, I'd love to go out for a drink with David Bowie. Of all the people that come in here for sessions, I think he's really good in. And I said, I think he'd like you as well. That's all. And I just went, hello, Carl. You're strange. You're alien. It interests me. Myself and Ian, I'd like to put you on them. Yeah, I just imagine you and Bowie in a pub somewhere.
Isn't that pretty much the same impression you do when you do Ian Canfield?
No. Ian Canfield's more like that. But not on air. On air, he's sort of like this sort of eloquent 40-year-old capital DJ.
Yeah.
And,
But when you talk to him in the studio,
he's
like a rock
slowly turning.
legend.
He's slowly turning into Tommy Vance, isn't he? This is one of his pillars of rock. Canfield. He loves Vance, Lemmy, Diano.
If we run out of material later in the show, which is likely,
Yeah.
considering we're now talking about Ian
We ran
Canfield's
out of it at
favourite-
1:05.
Exactly. But could I maybe just sort of interview you as David Bowie?
Yeah,
in a
that
sort of humorous sketch.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Maybe it could be the idea that what if like David Bowie was a cab driver? What would he say? What was some of the funny things he would say?
We saw that. What was that in when it said Dead Ringers coming up? If you've ever wondered what it would sound like.
Dead Ringers is this impressionist show. They did it's on Radio 4 and they did a TV version. What did you make of it?
Didn't like it.
It was alright. No, it was just that the write-up in
Radio
one
Times, I
magazine,
think it
the
was.
Radio Times, said, ever wondered what it would be like if Robbie Williams was singing George Formby, or what would it be like if there was an animal hospital
was hosted by Anne Robinson.
Yeah, yeah.
I have wondered. Were those two sketches on there last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were they like?
You are the weakest.
You are the weakest dog or
skink.
something?
No,
You
what was
should
it? It
know,
was something
I'm
like
a bit of a legend on Pelago.
they had to vote off an animal to die or something. It was something like that. Yeah. It was
This is
alright.
flagging. Quick, do your Bowie again.
Oh, come in here. Look, it's Tin Machine. Now let's play changes. Hello, Iggy Pop, you nutter. Stop cutting yourself.
Man, I didn't even get it off.
Travis, Flowers in the Window on XFM 104.9. 2 o'clock, halfway through.
Fucking work.
Oh, it's our favourite time, isn't it? Our favourite time of the week where we come in here and play some records, have a chat.
Ricky, a lot of people are wondering who you are.
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hi.
There's little Carl over there. Steve, it's time for...
White Van Carl. We should definitely get some jingles. I think the show sort of lacks jingles, I think.
Yeah.
Noises.
Yeah.
Funny sound effects.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What's
Go on.
Mr. Nosy Neighbour interested? Hello, what's going on here? Oh, we should definitely get some pre-recorded comedy noises, Carl.
Yeah.
for next
Yeah, well,
week.
that's my job, but unfortunately I'm busy reading about Hitler.
For those that don't know or not familiar with this feature, basically The Sun runs a White Van Man column where it asks just people who every men and women their views on news stories from the week, and we decided we'd just ask Carl his opinion on some of the same issues. This week,
Not like us to rip off another idea and just use it for our own... No, but this time...
The
yeah.
White Van Man in the Sun this week is Herbie Crossman from Harrow in Middlesex.
Herbie.
And he's asked his opinion, Carl, and what's yours, on pop idol Will Young admitting he is gay.
I don't understand what the big deal is, to be honest.
No.
Talking to different people about it, and they've said, oh, it could affect the sales, girls won't like him anymore, which I think is rubbish.
Yeah, because it finished George Michael's career, didn't it?
Well, yeah, and I was thinking when I was growing up, right,
And Freddie Mercury.
I was into Kim Wilde, right?
Sure.
Now,
And her
You're not
kids
going
in
to tell me
America.
she's gay.
no, but if she was, if you said, oh, she's a leather,
Yeah.
right, I wouldn't say, right, that's it, I'm
My
taking
ship,
kids in America
my
back to the shop, I'm
My
disgusted.
will
Sure.
to
I
get
liked her.
stronger.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to meet her and marry her and that, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
Will Young, she's a good voice, he's gay, a lot of gay people in the world.
Georgie boy was gay, I guess.
There you go.
Nothing more and nothing less. Kindest guy I ever knew.
So
Do
no,
your Bowie.
no big deal.
That's one of your favourite songs, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Killing a Georgie Parts 1 and 2, isn't it?
Okay, what do you make of the police protesting to Parliament over reforms?
That's not the band. Before you say.
Right, what's all that about?
Okay, well, the police have had various kind of gripes and grumbles which they've taken to Parliament, try and get them sorted.
Like what?
Well, it could take ages, basically.
They don't like the
Going
pointy
to-
helmets anymore.
Come with
They want
no
flat caps.
They
weapons?
feel that their powers are restricted. They get a lot of bad press. They're not being paid well. They're under resourced.
They actually demonstrated, didn't they, outside?
I think they may have done, yeah.
Well, at least they're doing something about it instead of just sitting there moaning. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're going to the top, trying to sort it out.
Yeah.
I admire that.
Yeah.
What do you make of the police generally? Are they doing a good job?
They've woke me up a couple of times at about 4 in the morning when I was a kid.
Right, was that because they were looking
That's
looking
why.
for your brother in his tank?
Yeah. Did a Sherman tank just come through here?
Yeah.
No, my mates nicked cars and gave my name and all that.
Right. Were they friends of yours? Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you make of fears that dumped Britney Spears? She's been dumped by her boyfriend. There's worries that she may be cracking up, Carl.
What,
You concerned?
what are the signs?
We're out to dethrone a king.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm just reading from
Nobody.
this section, but I would assume that she's obviously showed signs of depression, maybe.
She'll be alright. I remember, like, you know, Zoe Harris, when she sort of got bored of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Get over it, don't even think of it, you know?
What? And how long did it take you? How long did it take you to get over his ex? How long did it take
To be
you?
honest, right, it was like one of my first girlfriends, and she was a pain. I remember I went out with her because she wouldn't stop asking me. I remember.
A good reason to fall in love with her.
Oh, go on
I
then.
never talked to her, and then the bit that really got me, I thought I half liked her, and then I remember, right, we were at a school party, sort of infant school,
Infant school?
right?
Are you sure it wasn't junior school?
Well, it's on the cusp,
Yeah.
right, when you're about to leave infants and go to the next one.
Yeah.
And she was crying because
You were saying, I don't think we should move in together.
He was crying.
She was crying.
Oh, was she?
Had you
She
stolen
must
her
have
milk?
been- She must have been nearly 6. Why didn't she grow
I'm
up?
on the edge of the
she was
plank.
crying because somebody had stood on a dress and put a bit of an hole in it. And I said, oh, for God's sake.
I can't stand it. Oh,
So
God.
you,
I just think him.
so you gave her a slap.
I just think of him like 6, like with clogs and a flat cap, going slightly bald, going for Christ's sake, woman, come on. Oh,
Light my pipe.
oh.
That finished it because all the mates were saying, come on, Carl, she's upset. And I was like, oh, whatever. So it was all right then.
Like a
Hold on, though.
one.
Wait a minute. What do you
Me
mean
too.
all the mates were saying, look, come on, Carl? They were 6, weren't they?
Yeah, but they were saying, come on, she's crying. Help her out.
You're a
And,
nut.
and you did nothing?
I don't know.
She's not injured. Got a hole in her skirt.
Yeah, but she was upset and you were her boyfriend.
Well,
So what did you do? Tell me the story. Where
it
were you?
didn't work out.
You were at some kind of school do. There was a hole in
That's
her
why
dress.
it didn't work out, he said.
Do you treat your current girlfriend in the same way? This callous disregard for someone's feelings?
His current girlfriend does not tread on her dress. Does she?
Huh.
Oh, she didn't.
So
tread
as
on
far
it,
as
did
you're concerned, what was her name? Sarah?
Zoe.
Zoe Harris. You just felt like, well, you know, if she's going to make a whinge about, you know, a silly little hole, screw her.
Yeah.
You're all heart, Carl.
What would you have done?
I'd have gone over there and given her a lovely kiss.
You wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
We were playing Dead Arm. In the corner.
Ask him another question.
Okay, very final thought then. What do you say to the fact that a judge has decided that we, the general public, have a right to know about stars' flings? Basically, this is an excuse. This is basically saying, should papers be allowed to print tittle-tattle about celebrities,
Oh, this is.
providing it's proven true?
Oh, this is something about, isn't it, a Division 1 football or something? It's definitely out of Premiership football. It's unfair, and it is true. But he's trying to keep privacy. And the judge said, "Well, it's not for us to censor the press over things that are true.
Right.
It's up to the general public to either boycott or not. You know, that publication."
What do you think, Carl? What about all this, you know, exposing, going through the, you know, the bins of celebrities?
It's not right, is it? But
No.
people are interested in it and buy the papers to read it. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said to you the other week, everyone has a go at Beckham for not being that bright. At the end of the day, he's a good footballer. Doesn't really matter what goes on
Yeah.
off the pitch, does it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
What if you were
I
a
don't
celebrity and they sort of splashed over the front page the fact that you just, you know, didn't care
left
less
my
for Zoe
girlfriend
Harris?
because-
Yeah.
You know, porn girl.
Zoe Harris is still upset.
Yeah, they dug her out, you know. The night Carl Pilkington reduced me to tears.
Nah, I haven't done anything that bad.
Sure.
I won't be worried.
Did you win the Dead Arm contest?
No. I was thinking about that the other day. Do you think there's a chance I can get blood clots in later life?
Did you play that a lot?
Yeah, a hell of a lot.
Did you ever do it, but like kind of
It's just
headbutting?
one battle.
No.
Okay.
Plenty
that would have
more
explain to me.
Dead arms.
Sure.
Any more?
No, that's it, Carl.
And
Thank you very
it
much
was
indeed.
with People's Blessing, was it? You had to give them a go,
Yeah.
and you played it with girls.
No.
All right,
No, we're mates.
right.
So you were
Okay.
playing Dead Arms while she was off dancing and getting her hole ruined.
Yeah.
You romantic, you.
That's great. And you haven't changed it a bit, have you? You still do that to this day, don't you? At functions and events. Oh dear. Well, what track we got here? You've brought in a track.
Yes, I just thought I'd dig out some old Elliott Smith. I've quite enjoyed his work, and this was a previous single and the first track from his album Figure 8, Son of Sam.
XFM 104.9.
Sorry, I was going to
Sorry,
back
go on.
announce that track and just mention it was Elliott Smith and the track Son of Sam.
Well, I think I just better ask Carl a couple of quick questions about Hitler. Then we can get on with our lives.
Okay, and we can tick that particular box.
Yeah, put that. Yeah. Okay, Carl.
Put
okay,
that particular dictator to bed.
It's week 3 of his education. You've nailed Rasputin and Che Guevara. I don't want to lose complete sight of those. I'll maybe ask you a couple of those in the week just to see, keep your mind on it. But Hitler.
Tell us the story.
What have you learned?
Do you want to ask some questions?
No, not really. Just sum it up in a minute. What do you
Can't do
think?
it in a minute.
Well, can I ask some questions then? Where was he born?
Austria.
Tell us about his early life.
Right, he was a young lad. He
Brilliant.
What in his early life? Okay.
Yeah.
what's the name? His mum
Yeah.
was his dad's second cousin.
I may be young,
Which is a bit
Lord
weird.
Captain,
Yeah.
but I've
That is
seen
weird.
my share of
They had 5
stories.
kids.
He's going, yeah, it's usually first cousin where I come from. Oh, that's unfair, isn't it? There's no need for that.
There
Go
was
on.
there was 5 kids, but only 2 of them, including Hitler, including him and his sister survived. The others died at an early age.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, so he grew up, and the mum died, and the dad died, and that. And I thought, what am I going to do? Because he didn't do well at school, didn't have many qualifications.
No.
Liked art,
Did he have a GCSE in history?
liked art, right? And then
Rebuild.
so he said, right, I'm going to go to
Revenge.
Munich. I missed a bit out actually. Jewish people were in Austria. He didn't really like them.
Okay.
He thought they got special treatments and stuff, and just didn't like them. So he went to Munich, and he joined the army.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in the army, and he got injured.
Right.
So he went to hospital, and whilst he was in hospital, the World War I ended, and he was like, "Oh God, I want to."
I was enjoying that.
Yeah, well, you know. So don't, because you're breaking the concentration.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not even sure I want to join in on this one, just in case.
Okay.
Right, go on.
Right. So
He was in hospital. World
He's
War
in
ended.
hospital. It gets a bit better. He's never that fit though. He's one of these blokes who was always ill. That was on something like 30 tablets a day or something. Comes out of there, joins some other army.
Right.
God, you know, I knew it all this morning.
I can see it running to ground. I just see his face going, I'm not nailing the fact, am I? And joined another army, and he was
Well,
Listen,
starting.
let's try and help you.
I remember this bit. He thought war to men
No,
was like childbirth is to women. That's how important he thought he was.
All right.
Right. So it's like, you know, you fight for 9 months, and at the end of it, you own something, right?
Yeah.
So he goes on and all that. He's in Berlin.
Yeah.
And he's fighting his way through, like, you know, trying to take over countries and that. And he does. Does he do Berlin? Does he?
Sorry, wait a minute. Is he Chancellor yet?
What year is it? 35.
So
Where are you?
let's skip the kind of climb to power. Then he's now the dictator of Germany.
Right, he's in
Yeah.
charge, yeah. And this is when, you know, he gets his own back on the Jewish people and that, and he's got his own little armies, and he's setting fire to Jewish businesses and all this. And anyway, cut a long story short, he
Please do.
when he came to like fighting Britain,
Yeah.
came a bit sort of unstuck,
Yeah.
right? Started fighting
Not
back.
so easy, is it, this world domination, Adolf?
Britain was there, France France was helping out.
Yeah.
Americans were helping out.
Yeah.
So he thought, oh God, so
a bit late, but yeah, go on.
he goes into a bunker in Berlin.
Yeah.
And it's all kicking off.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, Germany sort of surrenders.
Yeah.
Says it's all over, forget it, we can't beat you. He was really annoyed with this, and he thought, oh, I can't show my face around here. So he
because it would be embarrassing.
he's with his missus, who nobody knew was his wife,
Right.
Eva, in this bunker.
Yeah.
And so he said, I've had enough of this. He shoots himself.
Yeah.
She poisons herself, and the chauffeur buries them or something, or burns them.
Right.
And in all the time he was in charge, 50 million people died.
So that's 1918 to 1945.
Yeah.
Between
It felt like that.
between Travis and the Red Hot Chili Peppers next week. That's fantastic.
That's remarkable. I have to say that you sort of lost your grasp somewhere along the line, because you started off confidently, but you lost your
I've had a really busy week, and last night I was like whizzing through it.
Sure.
And then this morning I woke up, and Suzanne had been away for about 3 days, right?
Yeah.
I hardly spoke to her. She's been busy, I've been busy. First thing to say when I wake up, oh, just ask me some stuff on Hitler.
You are romantic. That's great.
That's how stressful it's getting. But I knew it all this morning, honestly.
No, but that's fine. I think you've summed up the, you've done that. Right, just for a bit of balance, I've got your next week's homework. It's the same series. There's little books. There's tiny little books, just 3 inches long by 2 inches wide.
Crammed with so much information there.
Winston Churchill. There you go. You'll enjoy that. Yeah?
I'm getting a bit bored now, though. This is what happened in school.
Think of the listeners.
Did really well in infants. Once got to secondary, lost interest.
Was it the breakup between you and Harris?
And Zoe.
Wait,
I wondered if, you spiralled into something there.
Yeah, because it's like all these other, these men of history. They always had sort of things happen in their early childhood, didn't they? Carl, what doesn't annoy you? That's the question, really.
I'm not going to sit here and... different things annoy me. But I don't just
You
go
know we're
about
on
getting
an important
annoyed.
mission, right?
Seems
Stuff
like it.
happens. No. Stuff happens.
What's
and then-
annoyed you this week?
Overthrowing tyrants, liberation and such. My fight isn't with you.
I mean, I tend to get annoyed when people around me get annoyed. I'm never the one who's going in somewhere getting annoyed. I'm quite happy-go-lucky, me.
You're having a laugh.
I'm not.
That's rubbish.
There
There is nothing about... No one would ever say that.
No one...
How would you describe Carl Pilkington?
Oh, he's happy-go-lucky. Whenever I see him, he's skipping along, whistling a tune.
I whistle a lot, I've told you. I'm
Yeah,
always
only to
whistling.
annoy people when you're playing Scrabble.
No, I just... At the end of the day, I think the problem is, most of the day, I'm on my own.
Right.
Right? I'm doing DIY at home. I'm quite happy. No one's there annoying me. I
Right.
go for my lunch later than everyone else, so I don't have to see people.
He's like Quasimodo, isn't he? It's like
Why?
coming down when everyone else is not there.
When no one's around.
Yeah.
Suzanne!
No, but then that's the problem. Suzanne then comes home. She's been sort of with people, so she comes in with loads of energy, and I'm going, just slow down. Stop going on. Then she's breaking stuff, and that's probably the last
What do
thing.
you mean she's breaking?
She's heavy-handed with all the stuff I've been fixing. She broke the shutters. What else did she break? the
Well, you
other
could
day?
have done a good job.
I did do a good job.
Shutters? Where do you live? In the Old West?
What do you mean the shutters?
Some shutters on a window. She heavy
I like
handed
it
with them.
dark. I don't want them to see me. What a mum.
So what else has she broken?
She's always breaking stuff. The light switch outside. Heavy-handed. Don't. She forces things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it or how hard you pull it. Just tell me if it doesn't work and I'll sort it. That's what I do these days. I'm like a caretaker to Suzanne's house. I'm wandering around and replacing stuff that she's fucked up.
Jesus
So she annoys you. She comes home. You've had a lovely day of peace on your own.
So the only person that likes you and talks to you annoys you.
And when you're at home doing your DIY, I want to picture that scene.
Okay, right. We've never done this before, right? But let's do a typical day. we've known each other now. How long have we known Carl? Nearly 10 years.
Feels like a long time,
right?
yeah.
So, let's do a typical day in the life of Carl Pilkington.
So, for my first question is, what time does Suzanne have to wake up? Does that annoy you? Does she have to get up earlier than you?
Because she's got a proper job.
The alarm goes off.
What time?
7.
That seems early.
Yeah, but I'm used to it now.
Okay.
At the
Now, you
moment,
spring out of bed, make her a cup of tea, do you?
no,
Right.
I let her get up, mess about.
By mess about, you mean get ready for work,
Yeah,
right?
she's not being quiet, so I'm awake now.
Place that
Right.
sucks.
What do you mean she's not being quiet?
Well, she's just banging about, like I say, heavy-handed. I don't know how she does it. It's just doors and stuff. Everything seems like the Hulk's in the house, bounding about. Just don't be heavy-handed with it. When even like pulling the curtains shut and stuff, because it's not her who has to fix it. Do you know what I mean? When she's yanking at them and pulling them open, it's like just pull them like that. I've put them on a nice rail. Just pull them slowly like that.
Right.
It's things like that.
This sounds like these jobs aren't done correctly.
That's what
They
I'm
are
thinking.
done proper.
No, because if you get if you get a bad pair of jeans and someone says, "Oh, you've ripped it," a good pair of jeans, they won't rip, boys.
No, just look after it. It doesn't matter if you've got good jeans or poor jeans. Treat them the same. Look after your stuff. I've always been like that.
I know,
I've
yeah.
told you from a young age I didn't like people sitting on my bed after I'd made it. It was like, I've gone to the trouble, I've made it, there's no creases in it, don't sit on it. There's a chair there, use the chair.
Sure. Okay. That's mental, but yeah.
It's not mental.
It's like it's the behaviour of a
It's not mental.
Yeah.
So Suzanne's
she's
passionate about the place.
So the doors, I mean, what's up with the doors? Do they squeak, or is the
No.
catch been done wrongly on them,
No.
or
No,
is
it
it the
hasn't.
wrong
No.
wood or something?
No, just heavy-handed.
No. Right. Okay.
So then she has a shower.
Right.
If I have a shower, I like to go second because I've got the Mr. Muscle spray that she doesn't do properly.
Right.
Do you breakfast together?
Just sit on the bed, have some.
Have you made the bed yet?
Yeah, it's made.
Well, don't sit on the bed if it's made.
That's
No,
mad.
I've
Sit on
calmed
the
down
chair.
now. I've calmed down. That's what I've said to her. As I'm getting older,
Yeah.
I'm easing a bit.
Yeah. You're like Doris Day.
So sit on the bed, look
Why
out
are you
the
having
window.
breakfast not sat on the bed? That
Yeah,
makes sense to
that
me.
makes sense.
Either have breakfast in bed,
Just 'cause
classic,
the
or have it
radio-
at the kitchen
The
table.
radio's in there, and it's just kind of.
So you get up, make breakfast, and go back and sit on the bed because the radio's
What's
in there.
going on with the crumbs, Rick?
I don't know what the crumbs are doing,
The
but I don't know
crumbs
why
all
we haven't
over-
got two
Crumbs.
radios.
Hang on, you don't know what I'm having. I'm having cornflakes. No crumbs with cornflakes.
No,
Right
but
then.
So you're having two of you are sat there. Are you sat on opposite sides of the bed looking at each other, or are you both sat on the sides
No,
of the bed
sat-
looking at the wall, listening to the radio, eating a bowl of cornflakes?
Yeah,
well,
Romantic.
you sort of cross-legged on the bed, or your legs are down on the
just
floor.
down on the floor.
Right.
I paint
Fully clothed now. You've had the showers.
I might have a t-shirt on and my undies.
Okay.
I haven't put my socks on yet. I don't like socks. I'd put them on last.
Why don't you like socks?
They just cut off your freedom.
I don't know how socks can cut off anything.
It's all right if your feet are cold. They're nice to put on, but I don't
Mm.
know. My socks are never that well fitting, so I don't really enjoy
But why
wearing
don't you
them.
get socks that fit
Yeah,
you?
get
Because
the
I
right
never buy
size.
socks, do
They
I?
should
Let
be the
other
same
people-
size as your shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
little
let
roll.
other people buy them for me, and they're never quite right.
But hold on though, this is a rule you've imposed on yourself.
I'm only telling you because you've asked. I didn't come in here moaning about it. I'm just
Socks
saying,
cut off your freedom. Never
Right,
heard that before.
okay. Mandela said it.
Well, yeah, never heard socks compared to the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, I think William Wallace said it as well. Right.
waiting to be filled.
Yeah, imagine that in Braveheart. Just takes his socks off and goes,
Yeah.
freedom!
Yeah.
Anyway, then I'll say, right, on your way to work, take the bin bag out.
Right.
She'll do that, and then I get on with whatever I've got to do that day.
Little kiss on the cheek, on the
But why
forehead.
do you say
Pat on the head.
who pats who on the head?
I'll just sort of rub the back of her head. There you go. See you later.
Then what? You're there. You got your pants on. You got your t-shirt on.
Well,
You've
you
had
listen
your
to the
cornflakes.
news. You listen to what's being said on the radio. We'll have a little discussion about it. Sometimes she's in the mood for it. Sometimes she'll go, "Don't worry about it."
Right. What now? What would she say that to then? What would you worry about if you heard on the news?
I heard something about worms getting teeth,
Right.
and she was kind of going, "You're not meant to worry about this news story. This war's going on, stuff. You never listen to them."
Do you remember the story of the worms with the teeth? Should we be alarmed ourselves? What was the information?
It was just saying how it was all about nature versus nurture thing,
Right.
and saying how worms that are growing up in a family where there's loads of food around,
What do you mean growing up in a family?
just a family of worms in the soil.
Right.
They're going through the soil. If there's loads of food
Mm.
for everyone, and they don't have to fight for food,
Right.
They're quite happy they don't have teeth. The ones, like the rougher worms, where there's not enough, it's like a massive family, that kids left, right and centre, but they haven't got the nutrients to feed them all. They fight against each other, and the ones they're growing teeth now.
I didn't hear the new story, so I'm going out on a limb here. I don't think it was about a worm being maybe more working class and chavvy, though. With like big families, look at that, their big family can't even feed them all. And then you got middle class worms going, well, we've got enough food for everyone because we haven't overbred.
You know what people are like now? They've got researchers watching all sorts of stuff.
Right.
Keeping their eye on everything. When you don't have to worry about it. A worm with teeth, if they've got teeth or not, to me it is not a problem. Not a problem at all. I normally save a worm if I see one.
So,
in the rain, on a pavement. If I see it there, I go, someone's going to stand on that, and I chuck it, and I sort of watch it for a bit, see which way it was going, give it an helping hand.
See which way it was going, like it had an aim.
Well, they do. No, they do though, don't they? They're always going somewhere.
Yeah.
He was going to the dentist.
You can't tell. You don't know which end its head's on.
Do you check that it's got teeth first? Because there's some crunchy food or there's some soft food.
Like I said, it doesn't concern me, but I listen to it because it's on the radio.
Okay, so it's 8:05. Suzanne's gone out. You've rubbed the back of her head. She's took the rubbish out. You're there. Pants, t-shirt.
No socks.
No socks yet. What happens to the bowls of ex cornflakes? Where do they go? Have you got?
I wash up.
You wash up. That's the next thing you do, is it? Right. Okay.
Now then, do you plan ahead for the day? Do you think to yourself, Carl, make a list of stuff to do, or do you just let it go?
I let it happen. I don't like the worst thing for me is planning.
Yeah,
I've told you before.
Yeah.
You don't get anything done by planning, is what you said.
I don't like the idea of waking up going, I've got to do that today, because that's when you don't look forward to doing the thing.
Yep.
Whereas I get up, I'm washing up, I'll look at a wall and I'll go, those tiles aren't very good. I'm going to rip them off. So,
Jesus Christ. This is amazing. This is amazing. I mean, forget Idiot Abroad. Forget the Ricky Gervais show. Let's just have 24/7 Carl Cam. Just think how that would look. He gets up, Suzanne leaves, we get him to, he looks at a wall.
He starts tearing the tiles off. It looks like the behaviour of a psychopath, doesn't it?
Oh, so...
Are there handles on the inside of your house?
This is what worries me, though. The fact that you're always doing DIY suggests that you didn't do a good job in the first place.
No,
Steve, am I wrong?
I never ever do the same thing twice. Once it's done, it's done. I do it right. I take my time. I get it done right.
So this is other people's workmanship that you're undoing and doing properly. Okay, right.
Now the radio's in the bedroom, so you can't listen to the radio when you're doing your work.
I normally drag it through.
You drag it through. How big is it?
No, it's just a little clock radio thing.
So it's plugged in. Okay.
Then.
Well, hang on a minute. Let's go back, because presumably you've dismantled the tiles. You've got to pop down and get all your supplies, haven't you, from B&Q or somewhere?
Well, I went to home base. Might have a walk there if the weather's nice.
Yeah.
25-minute walk. That's all right.
25 minutes, a bit of a jaunt though, because you've got to carry all the stuff back, haven't you?
Depends what I'm buying. If I'm just buying a tub of adhesive, I can handle that. It's if you're getting heavier stuff.
What do you do in that case?
Drive.
Okay, get the motor.
Yeah. But I don't like shifting that, because you lose your parking space.
Do you put
Doesn't like moving the car because he loses his parking space. So don't use the car for fear of losing the parking space.
Yeah.
Not if I can help it.
Now, question. When you go to home base or B&Q or some sort of tile shop or a lumber yard, do you affect a more working class accent like I've heard Steve talking to his carpenters?
I always do that, yeah.
I don't have to talk to anyone. I know exactly what I'm getting. Straight in there. I know the layout. I've been in there plenty of times. I might have a bit of a browse whilst I'm there, like looking at different tools.
So if it wasn't for meeting up with me and Steve and Suzanne being home between, I don't know, 6 o'clock at night and 8 the next morning, you wouldn't talk to anyone, would you?
Do you have any friends that you might talk to?
Yeah, talk to some people on the phone. But then I soon get bored with that.
Right.
About 5 minutes in, I realise I'm not listening anymore.
Who's the last person? You have to name names, but just give a generic name. Who's the last?
What's the point of that?
Old schoolmate, or is it someone you've met more recently? Showbiz
someone
pal?
more recently.
Right.
And, it's fine at the beginning. It's like, oh yeah, that's good.
So what were you talking about that you got bored about?
I can't remember because I got bored with it. And I'm normally... You see, the thing is, these days, people haven't got your proper attention, have they? Because it's a mobile, so you can carry on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I was ripping old raw plugs out of the wall.
Jesus.
And he was talking, And I kind of thought, I hope he doesn't say, what do you think of that in a minute, because I wasn't listening.
Right.
So what's the point of having the conversation?
I don't know.
But hold on, I call you up. It's presumably the first phone call you get. It's the first phone call I make. I call you up, and I go, "What's going on, boy?" Right?
Yeah, but most of the time I don't tell you, because you'll go, right, what you doing DIY? Pay someone to do it. And we have to have all that every day, the same chat. If I'm not doing DIY, I wouldn't be doing anything. And then I get grumpy. Suzanne comes home, she goes, "What have you done today?" And I go, "Nothing." And I get fed up then, because I don't feel like I'm worth anything.
I work harder for your career than you do. I'm always doing stuff to try and get you to do stuff. I'm always trying to get you shows and things, and I'm always trying to get you to get out there and do something towards it.
I don't want to do it. I've done it now.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
We did the programme, it goes out on the telly. Job done. People want to watch it, they watch it. There's no point me cropping up on Loose Women, asking people to tune into my programme. They either want to watch it or they don't. If they're watching Loose Women, I don't want them watching my programme. There's a lot of crap on the telly, and that's why, in a way, people go, "Oh, it's amazing, isn't it, that you're on the telly?" No, not really, because there's loads of garbage on there. Anyone can get on it.
Yeah, well, that's
It's
true,
not special anymore. It used to be special in the 80s when there was like 3 channels, 4 channels. Now it's a doddle.
But that's why you should make special TV. That I like the fact that in anything you do, 90% in any framework, in any genre you work in, is crap. That's why it's nice to be in that 10%. That's why it's nice to do something that's special. You know, the great thing about Idiot Abroad is people haven't seen anything like it before. I'm so proud of it. It's great. So the fact that you're in a genre where something is 90% crap, that makes you look better. You should relish that.
No, because I don't think people who are watching Loose Women like it. They want some sort of flumph telly, don't they? That's that they don't have to. They don't have to think about.
Yeah. Do you mean the programme The Flumps?
He didn't say flump. He said flump.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now how are you spelling flump? It's FLUMF. PH flump. PH flump.
PF.
PF. Oh,
PF?
Flump. Okay.
Flump telly.
Yeah, flump.
Flump telly. So take it this way. So,
and what would be an example of flump telly?
What's flump telly?
No, I don't want to go slagging stuff off, but
No.
I'm just saying I watch
Who
less
would
and less
feature
telly
in
now.
flump telly? Who would be a typical person?
Typical? Is it all for those awful docu-soaps when people live their life like an open wound, saying, "Look, me fanny fell off," and
I haven't seen that. But yeah, all that sort of stuff. I do, honestly, the amount of telly I watch now compared to a few years ago, it's non-existent. Suzanne comes home at night, I might watch a Grand Designs to get some tips off it. Other than that...
So that's work. You count that as work, don't you?
Research, at
Well,
least.
at least you learn something.
Does Suzanne like Grand Designs?
She likes to see the end result, to see what it looks like, but she gets bored at the beginning when it's just a load of bricks.
Right.
She's got enough of that at home.
So,
Yeah.
so... And then we'll just sit and have a game of crib. Or...
You'd have been happy in the Blitz, wouldn't you? You'd have been happy down in one of those subway stations.
Oh, Suzanne, what? Chimney's gone. Oh no, what was that? Doodlebug. I better go up there. Oh, leave it. Well, it's fine. Oh, that's bloody heavy-handed. Them Germans. They're bloody heavy-handed.
Well, let's go back a bit here. So you've gone down B&Q, you've got your supplies, you've done a bit of tiling. Good job, please. You're halfway through. Spot a lunch around 3ish.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you pop out for lunch in a cab?
Depends. Sometimes Suzanne, as I pat her on the head, she sometimes says, "There's some ham in the fridge." I'll go, right.
I love it. Like, there's a little choreograph. If I better pat her on the head. I don't know what's going to eat today. Oh, Carl thinks, like Pavlovian conditioning.
Yeah.
Last time I patted her on the head, she told me about some food in the fridge. Bye, love. Take the rubbish out. I'm in the fridge. Cheers. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll eat that.
Now, just the radio's on the whole time. Is there? Because I want to picture this. You're not working in silence. Radio's on the whole time. That little squeaky radio that's sort of halfway in the doorway of the bedroom and the lounge or whatever. You've got the radio. And what station you listen to? You listen to music? You listen
Sometimes
to
I listen to sort of speech stuff.
Right.
Sometimes I listen to music.
What would be speech? Like a kind of one of those phone-in programs, or
phone-ins do me head in a bit.
Right.
I like reports and stuff.
Right.
Just little
Radio
things.
5 maybe?
Yeah, 5 Live. That's all right.
So you like to be informed as you go?
Yeah, just so it gives me something to talk about. Because if you're not with anyone all day, your brain's not doing anything, is it? Whereas me listening to them, it's like having someone in the room telling you stuff without you having to chat back. I prefer that. I'm a bigger listener than I'm a talker.
Yeah.
Whereas these days, a lot of people are talking, but they're not listening.
Perfect.
So,
although you're not listening to actual humans like your friends when they call you up.
Because they're just mithering.
And do you make sure that you get everything done and dusted before Suzanne comes home, so she comes home to a spotless place?
Yeah.
And so she comes in, do you instantly show her the work you've done, or do you just let her notice it for herself?
Sometimes I just leave it and see how long it takes for her to go, oh, you've done that.
Okay.
And if she doesn't notice it, are you annoyed or are you excited to tell her?
Sometimes I forget.
He does it again the next day.
That timing's a bit shoddy. I should do that. Wow, sometimes you forget. And so it's not the equivalent of when a lady comes to him and says, oh, you've noticed my new hairdo. Is it sort of the equivalent for you? She hasn't noticed. You don't get frustrated.
Now, you do notice her new hairdos, don't you? Because you say you don't like them. So what does she say about your tiling?
No, most of the stuff I do, she goes, that's good. But sometimes she'll go, why don't we just get someone in to do it?
What, before or after?
Well, it depends what it is. If it's something that's big and has been bothering her, but it's not bothering me, I'm saying I'll sort it out.
Well, what's an example of something that's big that bothers her and not you?
I had some wires hanging out the wall that I needed to patch up the plaster.
Now, these wires, were they exposed wires, for example, that you could have touched them and got an electric shock?
Yeah.
Well, that is a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but we haven't got kids running about the house. Who's coming in messing with wires on the walls? Just don't touch it. I know they're there. You know they're there.
Right.
We don't need to put up a sign. We don't need to cone it off. We know they're hanging out. I'll sort it. Right. Don't worry about it. Okay. She's going to get someone in. Well, no, I won't get someone in. Because, see, the thing is, she got someone in once when the oven blew up. Right? I said, leave it, I'll sort it, I'll look at it. No, you don't know what you're doing. Get someone in. No, let me have a look. No, get someone in. She calls someone up. They come round. The old £80 call-out charge business, straight away. They pull it out. They go, it's the fuse and the plug. Now, I could have sorted that out. But she didn't give me a chance. So now it's good now, because I've got that on the old back burner. So every time she says, let's call someone out, I'll go, oven. There's a little reminder. So I'm glad in a way that she did. But so now she just leaves it. She doesn't interfere.
No, Carl, I've got terrible pains. Oven.
Have you sorted that problem?
Not yet.
No, so the wire's still hanging out of the wall.
Yeah, but I know what to do. It's just that I want to do the other jobs first.
Yeah, but she's concerned about that one, and it's also very dangerous.
It's not that dangerous.
Steve. Oven.
I mean, you said if I speak to anyone in the day, I normally speak to my mum and dad at some point every day.
Really?
Do you? Every day you speak to your mum and dad?
Yeah.
Could you take us through a typical conversation with your dad? He calls up.
What does he say?
He said, I've just been out, got your mum some medicine.
Well, every time he calls, he's
no,
been
I'm
out.
just telling you the last call out.
Oh, I see, sorry. Right.
What's the weather like?
What's up with your mum?
Oh, she's just got a cough. It's cold, isn't it? Winter, cold.
Yeah. Expectorant? Did you get? Was it tickly cough or a chesty cough?
I think it's chesty.
Because
they've got like a coal fire. And it's when I go there, I'm always coughing and that. It's like smoking 20 a day, having one of them in the house. So she's always coughing. So yeah, been out.
And she smokes 20 a day.
Been out. Got some Benylin.
Does she smoke, your mum?
No, she used to.
Yeah.
Jacked it in when I was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
It had already done the damage.
Yeah, she smoked more through the pregnancy. She looked at it and went, oh, I'm not smoking again.
Yeah, or drinking.
Look at that fucking head.
So yeah, he said, oh, the weather's bad. Is it bad there? I went, yeah. He said, I've just been out, got some medicine. What are you doing? I said, I'm ripping tiles off the wall. He said, oh, that's good. He said, your mum wants me to do the tiling in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So why don't you do it? He said, oh, it's too much of a big job.
Yeah.
So just do a wall at a time. He said, yeah, I might do.
Right.
He said,
I'm getting fucking bored.
He said he might just sort of plaster over the tiles and sort of, paint over that. I said, well, it's not that good though, is it? Because if you drill into it and you smash a tile in, the plaster that's on the tiles can crack and go right across. So it's easy just to take them off. So it doesn't take that long to take them off. Just do the job properly.
Steve, you're going soon.
I'm actually going the weekend, Rick.
So anyway, he just said, I might do that. But he's got nothing else to do. So that's why I was saying...
Doing let him again in.
Oh, that's good.
Just...
sorry, go on.
And then my mum might get on. And
okay, what's she got to say?
Look forward to this.
She just tells me a bit of it. What was it the other day? She said, "Oh, have you seen them tablets that are food?"
She's so like you. She's just like you. Oh God, what is she, a fucking astronaut? Have you seen them tablets? What are food? Oh,
Go on, what are the tablets that are like food?
No, that's what it is. It's like spaceman food. They've come out and we're just chatting about them. She's saying, "Oh,
what do you mean they've come out? Really?"
Yeah, because we live in a busy world and everything. And people haven't got time to have a proper lunch.
Are you sure this isn't like one of those innovation things that when you can buy oxygen in a canister?
Well, didn't you buy one of those once, Rick?
Yeah.
What would you need oxygen
Well,
in a
because I was having a
for?
race with my mate, and I thought, I'd just have a bit of that on the way round. Right, it didn't work.
How far were you running?
I don't know, it was a race over a mile. And I thought,
so you were laden down with an oxygen.
Unfair advantage here. While he was out training, I was just buying something from the innovations catalogue. Yeah.
So you were running and you had a little. You pulled it out and you went, "What curses?"
I took it beforehand. I thought, well, of course it. Well, one, it didn't work, and
but
two,
what's it supposed to do? To just
I thought it would oxygenate my blood more, so I could. I mean, it was flawed. It was a flawed argument. It was a flawed argument.
How much did you pay for it?
I'll be honest. I don't know. £5 or something.
So you had a life in which you had enough time, knowing that there was a race coming up, to order something from the innovations catalogue.
Yeah.
What was this race?
We had a little challenge.
Was this a common thing? You had often had
I
challenges?
think I was on the dole at the time. I think I was about 25. And
I mean, if you're on the dole and you've barely got any cash, you're buying air. Oh jeez.
Yeah. I look back now. It was a folly.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's what how he occupies his free days, Carl.
Come on, 20 odd years ago.
More raids, more
I don't.
bounty.
Now I actually work out. Now, whoa, I'd like to race him now. Woo. Woo.
How is Usain Bolt?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's gone a long way. So your mum calls up. What does she say? She said there's a new pill out that's a meal. Yeah.
We chat about that for a bit, and then she always says, "Watch the road" at the end of the call.
Really?
Yeah, she's always said that. Watch the road.
She doesn't mean the film The Road with Viggo Mortensen.
No, she's just paranoid that I'm going to get run over.
Right.
So every time, I've never been run over.
No. Well, that's because she always tells you to watch the road.
Maybe that's the case.
And do you watch the road?
Yeah, I think I do.
She means just stare out the window and watch the road.
Yeah,
she's fascinated by it.
Yeah, exactly, watch the road. There's cars going
There's
past.
moving things. There's big bits of metal with wheels.
So, you did walk into a field of nettles once, though. Let's not forget that.
So you have a call like this, scintillating phone conversation like this every day with your parents.
Yeah.
And does she always try to find a piece of new information she thinks might interest you?
That's
each day?
sweet, though. That's sweet that he
absolutely.
talks to his parents every day. I remember when I went off to university. My brother-in-law dropped me off. My mum came up with me, and she was leaving, and she was sort of crying, and I was making up. I was pretending to be really sort of sad and winding up, right? And then I thought, I better call her up. She said, "Call me." Right, so I think I waited till the following Sunday. It's been about a week, right? And I called her up, and I couldn't just call her up. I suppose I had to be ironic because I was probably embarrassed about calling my mum. Like I wanted to speak to her too, so I just called her up, and she went, "Hello." I went, "Mum?" She went, "Yeah." I went, "It's Ricky." She went, "What's the matter?" I said, "I think I'm blind." She went, "What?" I went, "No, how's it going?" She went, "You silly bleeder, I nearly had a heart attack."
That's great.
So if you want to spice up calls to your mum, pretend you've had a terrible accident and that you're blind.
I like when I phone my gran, and the only other people that ever phone my gran is me, my sister, or my parents. No one else ever calls. And every time she picks up, she goes, "Hello?" Like, it could be a monster that's going to come through the phone line. But also, it's like she's never... Like, each time she hears it ring, it surprises her. Like, there's a noise in the house, and she wanders around and she finds an object that's ringing. And she doesn't know what it is, and she sort of hits buttons until... Hello?
Well, she's tried 3 already.
But what annoys me is I'll say, "Hello, Gran," and she'll go, "Who's that?" Oh, come on. You must recognise me by now. I'm the only person who calls, except about 3 other people.
I'm not the girl.
Yeah, exactly. And my granddad, she's had this for years. It's not just as she gets up. She she'll go through all of the family's name until she gets to me.
My lot used to do that. My lot used to do that.
So she knows it's me, but she'll go, hello, Ron, Elaine, Alex, Steve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's the same with each member of whichever one of us she's talking to.
Always last.
It's always last.
Yeah. Oh dear. So you've spoken to your mum and dad. You've changed the tiles. You've had lunch. The telly's not on.
Suzanne comes in. You've made her dinner.
No.
Right.
What happens there? Now, what happens there?
What time does she get in?
You've done all this by about 4 or 5, have you?
I'm tidying up. I normally keep my eye on the clock. Like to give myself like 40 odd minutes to clean up.
Right.
Kitchen's all clean, ready for her to make the tea.
Ready for her to make the tea, even though I know you've been tiling, but that was a job you gave yourself. You didn't have to do it.
No, but I don't do cooking. She knows that. This isn't even a discussion.
Right.
She knows. Like today, I've got to get some thin chips, so I'll do that.
You mean fries?
Yeah.
Okay. What, it's frozen in the bag or whatever?
Yeah. I've got to get some of them.
And what are you having? What are you having tonight?
Scampi.
So that's shop bought scampi. Just what do you do? Just
don't know. She
deep
just
fry.
I don't know. I think it's just chuck it in the oven.
Yeah.
So she'll do all that. I'll eat it.
And sorry, let me just rewind for a second.
I'll eat it. He's listing it in his day's work. I'll eat it. I say, I've eaten that. She goes, thank you. We go, oven.
Do you ask her how her day's been? I'm just interested when she comes in.
Definitely not.
She's had a busy day.
Not.
She's listen. Don't jump to conclusions, Rick. All right. Okay, so comes in.
Okay, let's act it out.
Yeah.
Okay, you've just cleaned up, right? The last bit there. You look back. Them tiles look good. You look at the clock. Oh, what time is it? She usually comes through the door.
Don't know. It can change. She calls and warns me.
Right. Let's go through. Take me through, okay? The end of the day.
Right. Backing up, cleaning up all the mess. Phone's going. Who's that? Suzanne. All right. Yeah. Coming home. All right then. See you in a bit. She'll go. I'll put the kettle on, or at least fill it ready, because she normally calls again.
What do you mean? She calls again? What?
She calls again when she's out the tube.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. What's going on?
All right. You out the tube? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah. Right. See you in a minute. Flick the kettle on. Get the tea bags out. Make a cup of tea.
Milk.
Bit of milk. Sometimes I'll say, "Oh, get us a little treat when you come out the tube."
Yeah.
So she'll get me, a bounty or something to go with a cup of tea.
Right.
She'll come in.
Before your tea, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's going to be another 40 odd minutes.
So you have a bounty before you have a meal?
Not every day, just sometimes. If I've got a sugar low, I've got a touch of diabetes.
No, you haven't.
I have. I feel like a bit shaky.
Oh, so you just made that up. So you have got no evidence whether you got diabetes.
Well, I haven't got evidence of it, but I think I have.
So there's no evidence, but let's believe in it anyway.
Right, well, I have a bounty that normally sorts it out. To me, that's a sign of diabetes. Otherwise, what's wrong with me? So,
you're just a greedy fucker.
No, I'm telling you, I sometimes need it. I get a proper urge for a Mars bar. I go, I've got to have one now.
What do you have a bounty for then?
No, just to mix it up because I get sick of Mars bars.
Do you? Yeah. Well, when you say get me a bounty, have you got an urge for a bounty then or a Mars bar?
Well, it's just that they're both quite equal in sugar content.
Yeah,
bounties. There's a lot like.
Do you specify that when you say get me a treat? She says, "Well, what? Sometimes you have a Mars bar, sometimes you have a bounty."
No, that's enough for me. I got when she comes in, it's a talking topic, isn't it? What have you got me?
Topic. Sometimes gets you a topic.
It's something to chat about, isn't it?
Right, okay.
Something to chat about.
So, has there ever been a time... Sorry, I've just got to get this straight, Steve.
Sorry, Rick, I just wanted to say, could you imagine you and I having a conversation about what chocolate bar you ever brought me? What'd you get me, Rick?
Got your bounty, is that all
Thanks,
right?
mate. That's as long as that conversation can possibly go. You're talking about it's a talking point.
Yeah, so what happens? So what's the last time there was a discussion about what she bought you? Did she ever bring you a bounty and you go, I was really hoping for a Mars bar?
I think the last time she got a bounty, I sort of said, "Oh, they do a 3-pack now." You know, they just have 2 bars. They do a 3 one.
Right, what did she say?
She said, "Do they?"
She said, "I want out of this relationship."
No, but that's how a chat starts. And they'll go, "Yeah, that's why there's fatter people now. Everything's in bigger amounts, innit? It used to just be 1, like a Milky Way. Now you can get a 3-pack." And then they say, "No, there's fat people." Because that's the thing. She's sort of been talking to people all day. I've been tiling, listening to the radio, hearing reports of obesity. So this is a chance for me to tell her what I've learned in a way.
Right.
So I'll empty what
I bet
I've
she
learned.
loves coming through that door.
When she comes through, take her coat off, I'll go, oh. She'll go, what, are we having scampi still, or have you gone off the idea? And then I'll go, oh, you know, we should get them tablets my mum's been talking about. She goes, what tablets? I go, the food. So see how it's all coming together?
Yeah.
So it's like that, and that's
what does she say to the idea of now living on tablets instead of having some scampi and chips when she comes home after a hard day's work? What does she say
just
to
sort
that?
of goes, oh, right.
She says, oh, right.
Yeah.
So this important information which you're imparting that you've garnered during the day, her response to that is, oh, right.
Yeah.
So,
and then I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say there's worms with teeth.
I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say, I'm going to bring out the good big guns now.
Imagine.
Right, she's ignoring me. Okay, wait for this. Suzanne, I see you're ignoring me. Yeah. Worms with teeth. Oh, God. Amazing. Oh, God. So what does she say to worms have teeth?
I can't remember. She just sort of said, oh, have you got the facts right? I said, yeah. That's kind of it. And she'll either go, oh, right, or she'll... I mean, it's pretty rare that it's anything more than that.
So it's not a conversation, really. It's,
no.
Because the response twice now has been, oh, right.
Right, so she's looking forward to some scampi and chips. She hands over your bounty. You go, oh, they do 3. Yeah, whatever. Right, what happens next? Take us through.
I'll sort of say, anything to report? Anything gone on today?
Mm-hmm.
And she knows it's I sort of phase off again. It's like a phone call. She'll go, oh, so-and-so's leaving or whatever, and I don't know these people. And I'm not that interested.
And she senses that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she'll go, oh, have you paid the insurance? I go, no, I forgot. She'll go, yeah, I told you to do that. I said, yeah, but I've been doing the tiling. She's going, yeah, but you weren't meant to do the tiling. I asked you to sort the insurance out on the washer because the washer keeps breaking. And she won't let me fix it, even though I know what it was. It was the heating element. I said, I know how to fix that. But she was going, no, I don't want you messing with it because if you flood the kitchen out, it's makes a mess. So anyway, so I've got to sort that out. I still haven't done it. I should have done that today. Then have a game of crib.
Oh God! Oh
it's God! It's like being in an old people's home.
I know, but I'll tell you what. Put the telly on because there's some flump on there that might give you an insight.
No, not until like I've said to you before. Unless she knows what she's putting it on for, it doesn't go on.
Right.
None of this flick
So
it
when
on.
she says, "Let's put the telly on," you go, "Okay, Suzanne, what are we going to watch?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
And she goes, well, I don't know. Should we have a look what's on?
I say, look what's on first.
But have you got a Radio Times or a TV?
Yeah, I've got a magazine that comes with a paper at the weekend.
Okay.
Look through that. If there's anything on your fancy, we'll look at it. If not, we don't need it on. Put the radio on.
Right.
And then she has a look and she'll go, The Apprentice is on. I'll go, okay, you can have it on.
Right.
If she goes, oh, I can't remember a time when I've said, no, you're not having that on.
You're quite patriarchal, aren't you, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean?
Well, the man of the house rules the roost.
Yeah, you pretty much lay the rules down, don't you?
No, because she still does what she wants. Even though I'm saying you're clumping about again, making a racket, she does it more. But it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, sounds like it. And so you've had a lovely game of crib with Suzanne, because, the magic's still there. And what time do you hit the sack?
Don't know, about 11.
Do you go to bed at the same time?
Yeah. So that's it, yeah, that's the day, really.
Well, hang on, we haven't finished yet. So, any conversation before bed?
Depends if the radio's on. I might say, look, here's that story about the worm.
Yeah.
And then she'll go, yeah, but look, it hasn't got teeth. It said this, that and the other. And I'll go, oh, yeah, forgot.
Good night.
That's the end of that.
Another day closer to death.
Well, that was a free podcast. I suppose we'd call that a day in the life of Carl Pilkington. That's a little thank you to all the fans who bought the audiobooks.
It's not much of a gift, is it?
Wow, it's something, isn't it? I mean, I know Carl did it begrudgingly, but thank you for downloading the audiobooks all these years. Carl's very grateful, really. It means he can go and buy as much grouting as he'll ever need. And thank you to people who've bought the book, An Idiot Abroad, and watched the programme. If you still can't get enough Carl, the DVD An Idiot Abroad is out. That's a lovely Christmas gift for all the family. Order that now at Amazon.co.uk or Calm or HMV
or your retailer
or Play.
of choice. Your retailer
of choice. or go out and buy it. Go out for
get
a
off
walk.
your arse and buy it.
Go out for a walk and buy An Idiot Abroad on DVD and the book. And what a lovely Christmas gift the Ricky Gervais show would make as well on DVD.
Animated ramblings from the round-headed moron.
Some people don't even realise that The Idiot Abroad is Carl Pilkington from the Ricky Gervais show. If you're on Twitter and Facebook and MySpace, or if you've got just friends you actually talk to via the mouth, then tell them if they enjoyed An Idiot Abroad to get the Ricky Gervais show on audiobook or DVD. And while you're at it, buy my new stand-up on DVD, Science.
I don't know, Rick. That seems a shameless plug.
Yeah. Well, what was all the other shit then?
Yeah, that was just talking to the fans.
That's because you get a third of all the other stuff.
All right, let's not reduce it to money.
Carl's on it.
On what?
On the Science DVD. I've done a special programme where I interview him for Science, which is amazing. But my favourite bit is probably when he meets Warwick Davis. I stitched him right up. He thought he was going to have a talk about science. We hid Warwick, right?
That's not hard, is it?
We had to keep him in a different room, and then Carl sat down, thought he was talking about science, and I went, got a little fella, and Warwick walks out, and your little face, and Warwick confronted him over some of the words he's used. Midget.
Yes, I remember the famous midget hippopotamus story.
Yeah.
I'm sure you used the word midget there far too many times.
Yeah. So there's a few things to buy at Christmas. Go out and buy one of our DVDs or books. This was free. Now pay for something.
Just close your eyes and grab something. Warms my rusty circuits to see that find a home. Hooey! Now that's a bargain.
Dervishes have 2 blades and no honor. I do not deserve another day.
Place to store the rest of the tyrant's gold. Haha! Now this will inspire the crew.
I would spar with you, but this leg. Oof. Go make some more stories. Then come back and tell me. Hey, when you carry my weapon, I fight alongside you.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms. Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun. Land legs make you predictable. You move in straight lines. Bury that last treasure.
You don't have time not to buy this.
Another fool with too much gold. The bazaar has not softened you. Make deals, not war. I suppose you'll go.
Another empty chest, waiting to be filled.
We made progress today. I'm proud of you.
Must be a hole in my coin purse.
My skills are not weapons. A blade can prune a guard.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
This is Audible.
Hello, I'm Ricky Gervais. The English biologist Thomas Huxley once wrote, "To a person uninstructed in natural history, his country or seaside stroll is a walk through a gallery filled with wonderful works of art, 9/10 of which have their faces turned to the wall. Teach him something of natural history, and you place in his hands a catalogue of those which are worth turning around." To some, the wonders and intricacies of the natural world are a miracle, living proof of the existence of God.
To others, the natural world is a wondrous illustration of Darwinian evolution. To discuss the complexities of plant and animal life, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, graduate of the University of Warwick and award-winning writer.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Carl Pilkington, a man with no qualifications, very little education, but who is now known the world over as a man with a head like a fucking orange.
Right.
Natural history obviously takes in everything to do with animals, plants, bacteria, which are in neither group. I should start by just saying, Carl, that the natural world is so diverse that we don't even know how many species there are. Conservatively, there's 2 million species of animals. I mean, without even taking in plant life, there are at least 2 million species of animal. With plants and animals, there could be up to 10 million species. There are 37,000 different species of spider alone. What do you think of
that? It's a lot.
It is, isn't it?
A lot. But if there's loads of stuff out there that we don't know about, and we don't know what it's doing, is it that important? Is it worth finding them now?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Well, it may give us the key to unlock other mysteries.
A spider won't.
Well, it might do.
A spider won't be unlocking any mysteries.
Well, that's totally...
Plants are different. I reckon there's a natural cure for everything out there.
Because there's loads of animals that have toxins that are used in medicine.
Yeah, I know that we use dangerous spiders to get rid of headaches or whatever, or they do in the tribes, right?
Yeah. Do you want to just expand on that point?
It's just that's what they do in tribes. They've got all these tribes. They've got all natural remedies. They go, what's up with you? You got a sore ankle? Chew on this twig. And it works. I've seen it. They've sent women out there and, like, they couldn't believe the stuff they can do with twigs and trees and hedgehogs and stuff.
Mm. It wasn't an in-depth analysis, was it?
What I'm saying...
Women, they just sent some women out there.
No,
apparently.
Yeah.
I reckon the stuff that's got venom in it, that's useful. We probably know about all them. Because
it doesn't make any sense. We probably know about all of them.
What I mean is the police know about the gangsters. But they go, right, we're aware of them, let them get on with it. We'll keep our eye on them. And it's the same in the jungle. These spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of. The ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, they're lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
Oh, Jimmy. Fun game, though. I hate this builder. I hate it. Yes.